Today, I'm going to tell you a story. But first, do you know what a paladin is? The year was 11266 of the 4th era of the Elven calendar, and 10753 of the Holy Human calendar. In the southern tip of the Kelton continent, in the kingdom of Isaac, an unjust war was taking place. Irina, Berbera, Becher, you stand no chance of winning. Surrender. Look at your soldiers and followers. Do you want to drag them to hell with you? An enemy demanded. We see Irina, a woman with white hair, wounded all over at that moment. In the name of the kingdom of Isaac, if you renounce your right to inherit the throne of House Becher, I will forgive you. It is explained that the darkness from breaking oaths and the corruption of faith and greed cast an eternal shadow over the entire world. Forgive me, but do you really think your word means anything? Your Majesty, not that you have much choice, do you? I will not break my oath in front of tens of thousands of people. Irina closes her eyes and thinks carefully about what is happening. Lower your weapons. Men, do everything the king says from now on. The soldiers were stunned that she gave up the war, saying it shouldn't end this way. The outcome of the battle has already been decided. There's no need for you to die as well. You came to the battlefield to fulfill your commitment to House Becher, not to me. From now on, I release you from your obligations. Lower your weapons. Everyone was shocked but obeyed, dropping their swords. I thank you for the support you've given me so far, but this battle is mine alone. Your Majesty, my homeland is behind me, and I cannot retreat no matter what happens, for this is my honor. It is explained that despite all this darkness in the world, some people still chose to defend their own honor. I will fight until my last breath. And she charges at the fully armed army. Foolish girl, but if that's what you want, so be it. Soldiers, prepare yourselves. Humility. Who said that? Integrity, compassion, that voice, valor, justice, and sacrifice. We see an armed knight on his horse. It is explained that there are still those who defy the law to keep their vows for glory and conviction. Hey, look, Wanderer, Knight Grey. We have to defeat him, even if he is legendary. Do not be afraid. Grey, have sworn loyalty to Irina, Berbera, and Becher. Forward all who are with me, and those who are against her will be my enemies. All who harm them will be my enemies. I will fight for her honor until death. Onward, Silver Moon Knights, attack. It is explained that this is a paladin. And now, the real beginning of our story starts in the south of the Kelton continent, in the idle and peaceful port of Hamlet. It seems that at this moment, a monster had disrupted the peace of this place. Everyone, prepare to fight. Do not let that undead escape. The undead was hiding in the city. Be quick, hide. Do not interfere with capturing the undead. People shout, "Undead," and everyone runs away, leaving their shopping on the ground. They scare the cats, and a woman desperately closes her window. Go that way. Search the rest of you. Follow me. When we catch the undead, we must crush his bones into dust. What's wrong with these people? This is scary. A talking cat appears. And what are you doing wandering these streets? You're dead, aren't you? A talking cat? Fool. Why are you shouting? Shut up. The undead covers the cat's mouth. You will draw attention if you keep shouting like that. These horrible people want to grind my bones. They are so barbaric. Of course, I will shout. You shouted first. Tell me, who finds a talking cat and doesn't scream in fear? But there's something wrong with you. You don't seem to be a cat. You are a ghost possessing a cat. Now it makes more sense. Don't worry. Many animals in this world are possessed by ghosts, and a skeleton like you wandering around the city is rare too. Is this your first time on the surface? How did you know? Yes, this is my first time on the surface. I'm so scared. A new undead like you, I can spot from miles away. Tell me, why are you on the surface instead of staying underground, risking being pulverized? Well, it's a long story. You probably know that the abyss is a very dangerous place, right? To survive in the abyss, you need to have very good skills, and I was very fragile when I was born, so I thought, why not pretend to be a scholarly skeleton just to learn magic? And I never imagined my plan would actually work. The sorcerer didn't notice my existence for many years, but then one day he needed my help and said he would turn me into a skeleton soldier. So I spoke up, saying I wasn't a skeleton soldier and that I could still do the tasks. But while I was rushing with the tasks, I accidentally knocked over the experimental device, and the Great Lich got very angry with me. But I also took some treasures with me, like this ring here. The Great Lich said he would teach me a good lesson, and he was very scary, so I ran away. The ghost in the cat is completely shocked by this. Oh, I have to pick up my grandma from karate and bury my fish that drowned, so I'll be leaving, okay? Let's pretend we never met. Curiosity is going to kill me one day. Of all the skeletons I met, it had to be the one the Lich is looking for. Wait, Mr. Kitty, what's your problem? Do you want to get me killed along with you? When the Great Lich finds you, he's going to pulverize you, and not just that, he's going to pulverize you and me together. The Great Lich attacking me is understandable, but why do humans have to attack me too? I've never had any interaction with them. What's so hard to understand? You're an undead. They fear the undead. Do you know what that means? Undead means means alarm, urgency, calamity for humans, and they'll do anything to get rid of you. But you're also an undead. Why aren't they hunting you too? Oh, so you want to compare yourself to me. I possess this perfect creature that combines good manners and elegance. Women use their soft parts to make cushions for me. If I lie on the ground, roll over, and look with a cute face that says take care of me, humans won't refuse me. It's no exaggeration to say that I am the master of the human race. Got it. Actually, no. What do you mean you're a perfect creature? You can make humans your servants. And what do you mean women's chests become cushions? Why do they obey you and not try to pulverize you? The cat is completely shocked because it realizes this skeleton is very innocent. When I was human, my mom always told me not to talk to weirdos. Goodbye forever. Wait, kitty, look there. Someone is coming through the city gate. You didn't finish. I don't care about you. You want to mess with me? Let me go. Let me go. We then see an army being led by a woman. Miss Irene, this is the port of Hamlet. This city is a bit strange. All the houses are closed. Hello? It must have been a long journey. We are the guards of the port of Hamlet, and we are looking for an undead that infiltrated the port. Please allow me to apologize in advance for any inconvenience this may have caused you. An undead? Miss, please do not interfere. We have business to attend to. I commend your loyalty and courage to Count Caspar. Now, move along. Guard, thank you very much for verifying the identity. You may proceed to your destination. Have a good journey. Then a soldier asks the man who was talking to them, Sir, who are these people? Don't ask things beyond your pay grade. This port of Hamlet is about to change. But you're asking so many questions. Why haven't you found that undead yet? Speaking of the undead. Hey, kitty, did you see that? Why did they respect those people covered in metal? Those guys covered in metal are called knights. Knights are the embodiment of justice and light. Basically, the protectors of common citizens who bring peace and stability to people's lives. So, whenever a knight appears, people respect them. Got it. Ah, I see. If you understand, you'd better go back to the underworld and find someone better than the Lich. Up here on the surface, you won't achieve anything, my boy. No, I won't go back to the underworld. I want to be respectable too. I, Gray the Lich, vow here that I will become a respectable knight. With those words, the kitty even falls over. Poor thing. Did I hear that right? What did you just say? I will become a respectable knight. No, before that, I, Gray the Lich, vow. What's wrong with that phrase? You're a Lich who's afraid of humans and wants to be a knight. Oh, for heaven's sake. Now it's night, with a red moon in the sky, which I found very beautiful, by the way. Our protagonist is carrying a huge bag on his back, still dragging the poor cat along. With all this equipment, I'll definitely become a knight. We see that he threw armor on the ground. Poor innocent soul. Even if you stole a full set of armor from a blacksmith, it doesn't mean you'll become a knight. I anticipated that, so I also stole this. It's a book titled The Knight's Guide to Success from the bookstore next to the blacksmith. With this, I can easily become a knight. The cat tries to bite the book. Hey, what are you doing? This is a very important treasure for me. Put me down, you crazy bony skeleton. Listen here, I have no idea where you got all this confidence from, but relying on this kind of book in humans, you won't become a knight at all. You're just a Lich. Why not? The other virtues of knighthood in this book are hard to learn. Why don't you try reading it with me? Shut up. Who wants to read this second-hand discount book? And this book is useless. Why don't you understand? Why won't it work? I don't understand you. To be a knight, you need a horse. Do you have a horse? Do you think there's a horse in this world that a Lich can ride? Are you trying to give me a stroke? Ah, I see. Now that you mention it, I really do need a horse. All right, then. Our protagonist's blue eyes start to emit blue flames, and it looks like he begins to recite something. In the name of Lich Grey, hear my call and awaken. Great soul, what are you trying to do this time? You damned Lich. A large summoning circle appears in the middle of the alley where they are. Oh, who awakens the great Tito's? We see a huge skeletal horse. Hey, horse, speak a bit quieter. You're going to get us killed. You're an undead now. If anyone sees you, it will cause trouble. Oh, how did I, the great Tito's, become an undead? Shut up. If anyone finds us, we'll turn into bone dust. Foolish brothers, the army is almost here. Meanwhile, in Count Caspar's castle, the lord of the port of Hamlet, Sir, the Duchess of Becher, Irene Berbera, is arriving. Irene, my lovely niece, it's been many years since we last saw each other, hasn't it? Yes, it has been quite some time. Uncle, thank you for remembering me. I'm glad to see you are as healthy as ever. Ah, Irene, always so good with your words. My foolish son is very lucky to have a wife like you. Excuse me, wife. Oh yes, your marriage. Did I not mention it to you? Oh, look at me. I can't remember what I'm saying because I'm old. I invited you here mainly to finalize the agreement of your marriage to my son. Obviously, Irene is not happy about this. If you invited me just to discuss this matter, I'm afraid it won't be possible. How about a few words on how you can help inherit the Brett family's title? Irene, there's nothing to discuss. Even if the Grand Duke's will is for you you to inherit. What can you do? You know your brother. He is not my brother, okay? The illegitimate son of your father. I repeat, my father never had a bastard son. He is a fraud. Enough. Irene, the king declared him as the heir, so that's what he is. He will inherit the title, and you will keep the property you inherited from your mother. You will renounce the Brett name to marry my son. This is a treaty that the king and I agreed upon, and you cannot go against it. Ah, so you are finally showing your true face, aren't you? Uncle Caspar, you made a vow to me. Have you forgotten? When my father died, you swore to be loyal to me. Sorry, but my devotion belongs to the Grand Duke Becher, and you haven't inherited the title yet, have you? Irene just extends her hand to the knight, asking for something, and he hands her a handkerchief. I've had enough of this. She throws the handkerchief forward, which among knights signifies a duel. Let's settle this here in the traditional way. Meanwhile, in the port city, the knights continued their search for our protagonist. Our protagonist, the poor cat, and now the newest unfortunate, the skeletal horse Tanitos, were sneaking around to avoid being seen. Phew, that was dangerous. Oh, I never thought Tanitos would have to run away one day. I think I'm going to die at this rate. Can you please let me go? Wait, but aren't you going to help me become a knight? When did I ever promise to help you become a knight? I'm a poor little kitty, and how can a lick become a knight? I'm going to go crazy. Hey, Tanitos, do you think people will be able to see my face when I put on this helmet? Ah, I think not. Knights also have pretty dark helmets. Oh, really? Speaking of which, I need to get armor for you too, right? Are you two idiots listening to me? Oh, you say it's impossible for a lick to become a knight, but there's nothing about that in the book. Are you stupid? Liches are creatures of darkness. Knights are champions of light. How does darkness become light? Explain to me how that's possible. You damn bony. Oh, are you worried about that? Don't worry. I know a holy knight. I will definitely become the brightest lick in history. Bright, my foot. How can you create sacred light being a lick? I will never give up. I, the great Tanitos, want to run against the sun once again. The cat just gives up. He doesn't even want to try anymore. He simply gives up. God, take me. Kill me already. I'm tired and sleepy, and I don't want to go crazy like these two boneheads. If I find another body to possess, will I be okay? Huh, are you really tired? How about you transform into an undead again? You know you'll never feel tired if you become an undead, right? The kitty, scared of being turned into an undead, gets up quickly. Okay, let's go. Where to? To try and make you a real knight, of course. But you changed the subject. I wanted to turn you into an undead. No, I think I'm fine now. You really don't want to try. It's comfortable being an undead. Get your hand off me, you bony freak. I don't want it. Hey, did you find anything? It's very late. We haven't found anything so far. Is there really an undead here? Maybe he has already left the city, right? Wait, someone's coming this way. We see our protagonist, looking much more imposing in his armor, and Tanitos as well, but still with a kitty on his shoulder. Inside the protagonist's head, he's thinking, damn, what do I do? I'm so nervous. Stop looking around, you idiot. Look straight ahead and follow what I say. Hey, stop there for a minute, please. The city is under curfew tonight because of an undead. You'd better find a hotel to rest and not wander around, okay? Ah, yes, sir. Of course. I'll follow your advice. See? I told you. Are you okay in there? Phew. My God. I'm a genius for thinking of hiding in armor and using magic to control it. The disguise for Tanitos was also very successful. Now, the next step is to find a master and get him to make me a knight. What's your deal? Where are you going to find a knight to teach you in the middle of the night? Why wouldn't I find a knight in the middle of the night? Because humans sleep at night. You're a lick, remember? Okay, I'll do what you say. But what do we do now? Is there nothing else you want to do? Actually, this is my first time as a knight, so it's inevitable to feel a little excited, right? So, should we go to that tavern that knights are always frequenting? You actually had a good idea. Let's go to the tavern. With that, the scene shifts back to Irina. Your Highness Irina, you have a duel tomorrow. Please, you need to rest. Horace, Abby, Roberts, do you also think my decision was impulsive? Your Highness, it's not that your decision was impulsive. It's just that I can't understand why you agreed to such difficult conditions. Because Caspar would only agree to these conditions. There's no negotiating with that fat pig. He has few men. We are more than enough to escort you out of here. But then we leave the port of Hamlet. And after that, once the king illegally seizes the Becher family's territory, there won't be many options left, right? Like it or not, we need the support of Caspar's troops. But that fat pig made it a turn-based battle, and the side that stays standing between our knights and theirs will win. We brought about 20 knights, but he has a whole army. Well, there is a renowned group of mercenaries near the port of Hamlet. Take my crest and go hire them. If we implement good tactics and use our advantage to attack their weak points, we have a chance to win. All you need to do is trust the Lord you chose. I will lead you all to the end of this, and we will share the fruits of our victory together. I swear by the name of the Becher family. Meanwhile, at the tavern. Look, this type of tavern is listed in the Knight's Guide to Success. success. It's not great, but it's something. Just go in and order a glass of wine and a fish. I understand you need a glass of wine and a tavern, but why do you want a fish? Well, because I'm hungry. If you want me to help you, you need to feed me, okay? Then fish for you. He says this as he enters the tavern. A waitress comes up to our protagonist. Good day, Sir Knight. Are you alone today? Oh, no, I have a cat with me. So that's 2 people. Oh, you're so funny, sir. This way, please. Hey, look, it seems we have a new face. Looks like a wandering knight. How about we bring him into our gang? Don't be ridiculous, old man. The Red Scorpions don't take just anyone, unless that guy can prove his worth to me. Wow, Kitty, did you see that? That lady called me Sir Knight. Calm down, man. She was just being polite. Anyone walking in with armor would be called a knight. Anyway, you have money with you, right? Oh, money. You mean those metal objects humans use to trade, right? I took some as a souvenir from the Lich's chamber. You took only 1 coin. How many should I have taken? Forget it. This will do for today, but we'll be in trouble from now on. Don't be so pessimistic. If we need money, we can get some. Oh, you mean by gambling? It's tough. He seems like an interesting guy. You really won't recruit him. I already told you. Old man, why are you so interested in that wandering knight? It's because it looks like that scoundrel has been winning since he sat at the table. You don't think the guy has guts, do you? And when we see, our protagonist is loaded with coins. He is multiplying the money. Hey, Gray, we're standing out too much. I advise you to lose a few rounds from now on, okay? The people start getting irritated at losing to him. Why are you telling me to lose if I'm winning? But he doesn't realize that the others are getting annoyed at his constant wins. You bonehead, how about 10 silver coins per round? Gray, don't accept. Get out, okay? Let's bet. The cat had a stroke. He's dead. Folks, you're going to get us killed. You idiot. It's all right, Kitty. I won't lose. See, we won a lot of money. I don't know why you were so nervous. In the world of liches and ghosts, probability is fundamental knowledge. These people were very stupid. You weren't paying attention to what I was saying. Winning all the time isn't a good thing in the human world. And obviously, as he says this, the guys all come out armed to confront our protagonist. You're a cheat, aren't you? You better leave everything you've won or I'll end you. See, Gray, this is what happens when you cheat. What is he talking about? He wants to fight me. And why are you just standing there like a post? Earlier, we were being chased. I'm a different person now, okay? I have help. Tanitos wants to fight. Tanitos' hooves are ready for action. If you really want to do this, I have a feeling Tanitos will fall apart after 2 steps. Don't worry, Kitty. Leave it to me and Tanitos. He's a knight, boss. So what if he's a knight? Get him. The people who came to confront him are a bit scared of the skeletal horse and don't advance immediately. Tanitos charges forward. Get out of my way. Tanitos starts attacking, kicking left and right, knocking everyone down with impressive force. That's it, Tanitos. Finish them off. And Tanitos is indeed taking everyone down, one by one. We see the gang members sprawling on the ground, and in the end, only our protagonist, with a kitty on his shoulder, and Tanitos remain. The people inside the bar come out to see what's happening and are impressed. So, do you still think he's just a wandering knight? Tanitos managed to take everyone down. Kitty, you don't know, but I secretly added some layers of magic to Tanitos when I summoned him. What the hell did I just see? Now, early in the morning, we see the army and a tent. People are curious to know what will happen, and it's explained that what Irenis said last night will happen. Basically, it will be her army against Lord Caspar's army. The problem is that Caspar has many more people, so everyone thinks it will be a humiliation. But we see the gang that wanted to hire our protagonist, and he is there with them. The leader says, "That's what I was talking about. Someone paid good money for us to participate. With your skills, my man, this tournament will be a piece of cake. Will they give me a knight title? Actually, I think so. She will give you the title of temporary knight to participate in the competition." Oh, so it's temporary. I wanted a real knight title, the one with the seal. Who is that? My niece. You see where this is going. If you lose here, you will also lose any moral standing you have. I'm concerned about your reputation. Count, I know very well that the reputation of the Betcher family is not your concern. Why don't you call me uncle anymore? That's very disrespectful. If I lose, of course, I will keep my word. But I hope that if I win, you will not go back on your word. Right, certainly, I will keep my word. The announcer begins to explain. Basically, it will be a tournament composed of infantry and cavalry battles, and it will be turn-based combat. One side will send a knight to the battlefield, and the participant will be eliminated if they lose or surrender. The winner must meet the challenge of the opposing knight. However, they will have the right to decide if the next round will be a horseback battle or on the ground. This will repeat until all knights on one side are eliminated and victory is determined. If Count Caspar loses, he must swear loyalty to Lady Irina, and if Lady Irina loses, she must accept the engagement to the Count's son and marry at a later date. The audience, who were there just to watch, are frightened because the Count has many more soldiers than Irina. When Irina Irina's soldiers enter. They seem few, and the crowd already knows who will win the competition. And obviously, they are betting because gambling rules the world, right? Irina, don't be offended by what they're saying. I know you want to prove yourself, so don't worry. I won't crush you. Horus, have the mercenaries arrived? Yes, ma'am. They are waiting outside the arena. Then let the tournament begin. We see the two knights on the ground, even without horses, exchanging blows. The tournament progresses. In the first round, Irina wins and Caspar loses one. In the second round, Irina wins again, and Caspar loses another. In the third round, Caspar wins and Irina loses one. And so, the tournament continues. Damn, we're being pushed back by their numbers. Miss, please give me a chance. I can take on 10 of them. No need to rush. Bring in the mercenaries. Are you planning to use mercenaries to tire out Caspar's troops? We must overcome the superior strength of the Count's troops. Our numbers are limited and must be used very carefully. Hey, guys, keep those hands to yourselves. The lady called us, so don't be idiots. The audience thinks it was too quick, but the mercenaries seem well prepared. Gentlemen, this match is of the utmost importance to House Becher. I hope you help our lady win. The mercenaries are a bit demotivated, as there are 40 of them against over 100 of Caspar's combat-ready soldiers. Horus starts thinking, I can't believe we have to resort to a bunch of gangsters. What a shame. Hey, can I have a word with you? Old man, can you make me a knight? Hasn't the lady already granted you the title of knight? No, I don't want a temporary title. I want to be a real knight. You're getting pretty greedy. Kid, Horus, wait, do you want the title of an official knight? Yes, I do. But the title of knight is earned by merit and can't be granted arbitrarily like that. If you can defeat 50 men for me in this tournament, I'll make you a knight. Our favorite kitty thinks, 50 people. You must be joking. This woman is asking for too much. Gray, don't agree to this, okay? We have a deal. Oh, son of a. Well, I'll be waiting to see how you do. Let's go back. Horus. Ah, right. What do you have in your head? It's only 50 people. What are you talking about? Tanitos can easily take out 50 of them. Tanitos, you rascal. Do you see those guys over there? No one has chosen cavalry so far. In other words, if you put Tanitos out there, you'll have to beat a bunch of guys who aren't mounted on horses, and the winner has the right to change the combat. Do you know anything about swordsmanship? Ah, that's true. I don't. I knew it. We have to think of a way to solve this. Oh, little Irina, you're back. I didn't expect you to rely on mercenaries like the Red Scorpions. Isn't it true that the Becher family is in decline? You'll soon find out who's in decline. At this moment, more mercenaries enter the field, and this time it's the leader of the Red Scorpions. Yeah, looks like the game has changed. Alright, it's time to get to work. Caspar is very impressed because this guy, my friends, this guy is good. With his attacks, he manages to break the guard of the knight and simply destroys the helmet and chest plate of the knight he's facing. Pass, pass, pass. That's the crowd cheering for him because his name is Pass. Damn, who is this mercenary and how can he win 5 rounds in a row? Sir, he's the leader of the Red Scorpion mercenary group, Killer Pass. Are you telling me the mercenary is going that far? Send in my secret weapon. These mercenaries will learn the consequence of going against a count. Meanwhile, people are still celebrating, saying that Pass is very strong, but the count just sent in his 9th knight. The mercenaries are impressed because the guy is gigantic. Now the battle really looks like Goliath against David, my brother. Even Irina and Horus are impressed with this guy who just entered the field. Alright, partner, it's time for us to have some fun. Ah, I just remembered something I need to do. I have to have a chat with that lady about extra taxes, you know? Meanwhile, from the perspective of our little knight Gray, this will never work. The sword is too difficult to handle. I have to think of some magic to make it move on its own. I think you should just give up. When the giant guy entered the arena, silence fell. People were only murmuring very softly. This guy looks like a monster. What is this? Meanwhile, Caspar was all happy with that smile of his. The knight duel between Count Caspar and Miss Irina, 12th match, begins now. The giant charges forward without even thinking. He has a large, very heavy mace that he tries to hit Pass with, but Pass is very agile and manages to dodge. He sees a good opening and makes an attack that seems sure to hit, an attack that would knock down any soldier, but the guy is still standing. What the hell? We see that Pass's sword completely shattered when it came into contact with the guy's armor, or maybe his skin, who knows? The guy is huge. You've got to be kidding me, right? Damn, this is bad. This is bad. The guy is already preparing another attack on him. How am I going to dodge this? The giant swings his mace and hits Pass. A lot of blood spills in the arena and Pass is thrown far away, landing near the audience. Everyone thought he was dead. The crowd was really worried about Pass. Very good, very good. This is what happens if you try to go against me. Ah, I think I broke a few ribs with that, thinks Pass, kneeling. The giant is already preparing another attack. Looking at this situation, I'm going to have to ask for double the payment, mutters Pass. He doesn't falter falter and jumps to dodge the giant's attack. Seeing an opening, he takes the broken sword and stabs it right into the giant knight's eyes. His eyes are completely bloodied. He can't see anything anymore. Damn it, my eyes. Pass. Without giving him a break, goes at him again and cuts the tendons in the giant's heels. Curse you, you son of a mother. The giant falls in the middle of the arena. No, I'm not a son of a mother. I'm the most beloved person in the port of Hamlet. The super leader of the mercenaries, says Pass, spitting a lot of blood. The people in the audience are worried, asking for someone to help him. Horace, replace him and call the doctor. Of course, milady. Later, at dusk. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be fighting in the tournament? Well, I'm making my weapon. I can't use this sword, so I thought I'd create a weapon I can use. Alright, but if you don't hurry, the tournament will end, and you won't even get to participate. I hadn't realized that. You're right, I need to be quicker. It's said that the fight between Irina and Count Caspar extended until midnight. So far, Irina has suffered significant losses, with 4 dead, 7 severely injured, and several having quit, leaving only 6 fit for combat. Although Count Caspar's side hasn't been as strong as Irina's, they relied on their numbers to suppress the opponent, with a total of 61 people remaining. At this moment, an Irina soldier is being defeated. Meanwhile, Pass is on the roof, observing everything. Irina's knights are quite brave, but 6 against 61. Even if each one of them wins 10, there will still be some left on the other side. It's impossible to win with just this strategy, Pass thinks. Horace goes to call Pass. Master of Knights, what do you want from me? You still have the nerve to ask what I want from you. Half of your mercenaries surrendered in the middle of the fight. What the hell is going on? Where is your knightly spirit? Oh, come on, Master. What did we say? We're mercenaries, not knights. We get paid to fight for you, but we never said we'd sell our lives. Did we? Horace thinks, that bastard. I'll calm down. I'm not here to fight with him. Anyway, putting that aside, where's that other guy from your group who wants to fight 50 people? Gray? I don't know. I think he went to feed his cat. He hasn't been called yet. This is no time for jokes. The announcer declares that Count Caspar has won another round and announces that only 5 people remain on Irina's side. Horace runs towards the arena. I can't let Caspar continue these consecutive victories. At this point, I'm the only one who can fight. But suddenly, he feels a very strong pressure on his body. What was that I just felt? We see that someone very heavy is arriving in the combat. Our protagonist is carrying a door at least 10 meters long. Everyone is completely shocked. Hey, guys, excuse me. Could you tell me how many people are left on Count Caspar's side? Count Caspar is completely shocked. The chubby guy didn't lock the door. Irina, who also stands up, can't believe what she's seeing. Can this guy really do that? Hey, old man, how's it going on Caspar's side? I brought reinforcements. Horace is speechless, and everyone is at a loss for words. Go ahead, there are more than 50. Really? More than 50? Oh, how wonderful. I arrived just in time. I'm heading straight to the ring, and our protagonist throws the door with all his strength into the middle of the arena. The door falls slowly, but when it hits the ground, it devastates everything in the arena. Count Caspar's knight, who was on the field, is in shock, trembling, and so scared that he ends up wetting his pants. Our protagonist stands on top of the giant door. Alright, that's it. Now I'm truly ready. Let's start this round, says Gray. The knight from Lord Caspar's side assesses the situation, places his axe on the ground, and says, I surrender. Already? Okay, who's next? I don't want to go, murmurs one knight. You've got to be kidding me. I'm not fighting that guy. Meanwhile, Lord Caspar's army begins arguing among themselves. How dare you rip the door from my palace and use it as a weapon? Such audacity. I won't tolerate this. The entire audience is bewildered. My God, that's the gate from the Count's house. Who is that on top of it? What the heck? How did things turn like this all of a sudden? Count, this isn't good. The knights would rather relinquish their titles than fight that guy. But we might still have a chance if we change the competition to cavalry. Cavalry, that's right, I understand. Then, that's the only way. While Gray stands on the door, someone calls out to him, Hey, young knight, your strength is truly astonishing. When I organized this tournament, I never imagined seeing anyone with your abilities, but I'm sure the audience would love to see your skills with a horse too. What do you think about that, cavalry? Irina, furious, says, Caspar, the tournament rules state that the winner decides how the next round will be. Please, Irina, if you don't accept a cavalry battle, my men won't even fight. And if they don't fight, this tournament will drag on forever. That's something you don't want, right? Irina becomes even more irritated with Caspar for trying to manipulate the situation. Brave knight, are you willing to accept the request for a cavalry battle? Well, but I wanted to ask if, by accepting the cavalry battle, you could send all your soldiers at me at once. What? All of them? You mean all the remaining men on my side at the same time against you? Exactly that. If they don't surrender during the fight, I will be able to defeat 50 people and earn my title. You're crazy. Handling that many alone Of course you can. We have a deal. What a wonderful offer. Horace thinks, this is madness. We have to stop this insanity. Irina intervenes. Gray, that's your name, isn't it? Are you making this request with complete confidence? Yes, I am, ma'am. I will bring victory for you. Then show your courage and strength to Count Caspar. May the Holy Spirit be with you. Gray descends from the door with an imposing stance. Thank you for the kind words, ma'am. The audience notices something. Hey, look over there. It's Tanitos, jumping from the rooftops. Gray mounts Tanitos, with the cheerful little kitty already on board. What are you waiting for? Send our knights too. The butler shouts for the knights to organize and attack Gray. They all prepare, forming a complete lineup to take him down. Gray stands there, alone, with his horse, the cat, and the door. The kitty is confused, not knowing about the agreement. Gray, what's going on here? The warriors advance. It's just one guy. We'll win easily. More than 50 people against one guy. They charge with motivation, but the first attacker misses, and Tanitos gets furious. Gray draws his sword and, for some reason, manages to use it, landing a precise strike on the first opponent, who screams in pain. But he didn't actually feel anything. No way. Gray, you managed to miss a guy who was half a meter away from you. Sorry, I'm still really bad with a sword. I'm sure even Tanitos can hold a sword better than me. And he's a horse. Instead of being happy that he wasn't killed, the guy gets pissed off and says, how dare you provoke me? I'm going to kill you. Cool. Now you've pissed off all the knights. Senor Gray, what we're going to do now is, since this sword isn't working, we'll have to go for the classic lit style. Classic lit style? Gray starts to cast another spell. Colossal magic. Quadruple armor spell. Quadruple wind spell. Quadruple wind explosion spell. He's using all these spells on Tanitos. He's standing still. Guys, let's finish him off. But our protagonist, the horse, and the kitten turn around with evil looks. The first knight who approaches gets taken down, and the second one too. Tanitos is knocking everything down. My friends, don't panic. He only has the ability to mount. Just kill his horse. But the guy who says this tries to stick a spear made of paper, which doesn't even pass the barrier our protagonist made. He gets kicked in the chest, and the army becomes more and more unmotivated and scared because the horse is running over everyone. Oh, this is so cool. Tanitos is very happy today, while the other knights are covered in blood, wondering how a horse is killing everyone. They think that Gray and the horse are some kind of monsters. How is that possible? He must be cheating. Oris says, that bastard really did it. Mr. Knight, here, take your sword. Ah, thank you. So now that I've defeated more than 50 people in the tournament, will you give me the title of knight? Irene smiles. Of course. My promise is a debt. You are now my knight. The audience celebrates, and everyone cheers. It is explained that in the spring of 10753, according to the sacred calendar in the territory of the Kingdom of Isaac, at the southern tip of the continent of the Celts, a knight was born who would change the entire world. Some people left this scene very angry, but others were rooting for this knight. People threw Gray and the kitten up in the air. Why are they throwing me up? When did this happen? They are going to crush my bones until I turn to dust. Gray had no idea what the future held for him. The next morning, there was a commotion in the city. People were saying, hey, what is happening in the castle? There's gold. There's a lot of gold falling from the castle. That knight who defeated 50 men is throwing gold from the sky. Long live chivalry. Ah, Gray, what are you doing? I'm distributing the gold I found to the poor, Gray replied. We get a flashback to last night to explain what is happening. The silver moon is a symbol of luck, and we meet under its light. That's why I grant you the title of Knight of the Silver Moon. Forgive me for the modest oath ceremony. I hope you keep walking by my side, my knight, and I will fight for you until my death. We see the grand castle where Irene was. This here is the room that Lead arranged for you. Knight of the Silver Moon. Please rest well. Oh yes, of course. This world is so crazy. A lit managed to become a knight. Gray started to laugh evilly, but then became cute again. I became a knight. I became a knight. Oh, that laugh you made now sounded like a real evil lit, Irene teased. I can't be excited like that anymore. As a knight, there are many things I don't know yet. I need to run and start learning, okay? But don't make a noise. I'm going to sleep. Hey, you can't sleep. I need your help. See here, the knights in the books always give the treasure they find to the poor, so I can find the treasure. But what is a poor person? Look, the term poor is a broad concept and is not a specific person. Compared to Caspar, everyone in the port hamlet is poor. As for the treasure, this castle is full of it, so feel free to find it yourself. So can I go back to sleep? But the poor kitty bitterly regretted the words he said to our protagonist. Gray, no, you stole Caspar's castle gate, you idiot. Meanwhile, in Irina's temporary office, Horace and some of her knights are gathered. What do you three want from me so early in the morning? Abby, Roberts, and Horace. With all due respect, my lady, do you trust this Gray fellow? You must have witnessed his bravery, and I need his strength, but we don't know who he is or his past. He hasn't even taken off his helmet. We don't know what he looks like, but you know that if he were on the king's side, I wouldn't be sitting here with you, would I? Oh no, my lady, suspecting isn't a good thing. Abby, you're my most trusted servant. I hope we won't have to discuss this matter in the future. Of course, milady. Lady Irina, we have terrible news. The Silver Moon Knight, he stole Count Caspar's treasure and is throwing it from the castle tower. Irina simply slams the table. The knights stare at her for a moment, and she looks completely disappointed. My lady, are you okay? Your face looks a bit. I'm fine. Gray is in the castle tower, right? I'll go talk to him. My lady, please, lower that sword.
The next scene is a flashback of Irene saying that she never considered herself a very competent milady. Look up, be vigilant in defense, be careful. Irene falls and is disarmed. What's the matter, Irene? If you fall so easily, there's no way you can become close to the Betcher family's Quasar. But, nevertheless, she possesses a quality that even she hadn't noticed. She's like, what do you think of a 10-year-old girl? Huh, uncle. But she says, please, I want to try again. She's very good at interpreting and acting. In the next scene, in the present, she goes to see what the protagonist is doing. What the hell is this madman doing? He's trying to destroy my life. That old fox Caspar has already lost the duel, but he keeps avoiding handing me the oath. I want to put an end to those two. The other two knights in the back know very well what she's thinking at that moment. You're a thief in knight's armor. Look what you've done. But I'm only giving the wealth I've found to the poor. Hey, do knights do that? What do you mean you found it? It's my treasure. You're a despicable thief. Oh, does that mean this treasure belongs to someone? How would you know? It doesn't have your name on it. Are you blaming me, milady? There seems to be a fight going on in there, ma'am. You'd better stop Gray before it gets out of hand. And, to explain, as well as being very good at acting, Irene has another characteristic that is essential for a milady. The Gray-Caspar combination is an excellent opportunity. She has an incredible sense for spotting moments of opportunity. That's enough. I'm not going to keep arguing with you. Bring your master here now. Well, what a surprise. Uncle Caspar requesting my presence. Just like you, uncle, who is avoiding me because you didn't want to keep your vow. Irene, as you've seen, I'm Irene. Greetings from the Grey Knight. Hello, Gray. And Caspar thinks, that uneducated peasant knight. By the way, Uncle Caspar, you should know that if you refuse to fulfill your vow, I have the right to completely strip you of your title immediately. What? Now I understand. You deliberately sent him to attack my treasure. Uncle, what are you talking about? I just found out too. My knight just isn't very sensitive, and I'll make up for any damage he's caused you. After all, unlike a certain person, I always keep my word. Okay, fine. Is that what you want? Then take it. And he throws the oath of allegiance up in the air. Don't think you can fight the king just because you've received a few troops from me. Uncle, I don't need you to worry about that. Milady, have I done something wrong? No, Gray, you did very well. That naughty fox Caspar has completely forgotten that I have no right to deprive him of his title. That was all thanks to the pressure you brought to bear on him. Gray, milady, your inner demons are coming out. Please contain them. Oh, I'm sorry. I lost my composure. Anyway, Gray, you've done a good job this time, but it's wrong to steal other people's wealth for selfish ends. This time, I'll help you fix it, but if it happens again, it will be deducted from your salary. No problem, right? Okay. Well, since we've gotten the oath, there's no need to stay at the port anymore. Come on, Gray, get your things together and accompany me to the White City tomorrow. And off she goes. Gray doesn't say anything, but he asks the kitten, by the way, what does salary mean? But the kitten just ignores him and thinks about Irene. Although I realized it on some level, I really don't know what to say. I don't know how crazy a person has to be to accept Gray as a knight. The future looks pretty bleak in that woman's hands. The next day, on the journey, they are leaving, now with many more soldiers, because she has the oath of Caspar's knights. Wow, how many knights together? How come I didn't see them during the fight? It's just that these are ordinary soldiers. Gray, only the knights have been allowed to fight, and some people from Caspar's side have also come over to our side. I have a feeling something very bad is going to happen. After a long journey, in the evening they stop to make camp. Lord Gray, Knight of the Silver Moon, Sir Gray. I've finally found you. Oh, what do you want from me? I don't know what it is either. All I know is that Horace is calling you. And when he goes to Horace, he is very angry with Gray. Milady, I can't accept that. Caspar's oath is an opportunity to force more lords to join our campaign. I need reliable messengers to spread the word, and there is no more reliable person than you. What exactly is unacceptable to you? I refuse choose to leave Gray as the only knight at your side, while you send Robert and me as messengers? What if that bastard is planning something evil? We're back to the Gray problem. Let's be honest, if Gray has ulterior motives against me, do you think I'll be able to stop it? Did you see the size of the door he carried? The two are completely shocked because it's true. Am I not right? So, instead of standing by me and doing nothing, go as a messenger for me, please. Ah, Lord Horace was looking for me. And both Horace and Robert glare at our protagonist. Have I done something wrong? Why are they staring at me like that? I'm counting on you to keep Milady safe, Gray. And after saying that, Horace and Robert left the camp. So why did he call me that? And who is security? Is it a pet? What should I do? Should I ask her? Ah, let me think. Milady, where's your security? No. Why does that cat have to sleep now? Oh, who can help me? Are you nervous, Gray? No, ma'am, I'm not nervous at all. It's just that. Exactly. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do? Simply put, you have to stay there and put an end to anything that threatens me. Ah, that makes sense. Gray, you're very strange. You refused to take off your helmet and you didn't even know what a knight's oath was. Are you from another country? No, from another continent. Are you human? You're so suspicious that I wouldn't even accept a suspicious knight in any other situation. What are you talking about, ma'am? Of course I'm a knight. I was born and raised in this country. And Irene thinks, damn, his eyes are almost coming out of his helmet as he moves from side to side. You don't have to be nervous, Gray. I'm not doubting your identity when I say that. On the contrary, I just want to say that what you did before doesn't matter much, because from the moment you swore your allegiance to me, you became my knight, and I'm going to pay for who you are and make sure you're not abused for it. Meanwhile, the kitten was waking up and saw that there was an intruder in the camp. Milady, you're a wonderful teacher. I will always be loyal to you. He's so easy to deal with. Now enough talk. It's been a while since Horace left. Get ready. It's almost time to welcome our guest. Just as she says this, someone rips open the tent. A masked killer walks in, with white hair and blue eyes. Target confirmed. Cleanup operation initiated. It's explained about the Crows, a group of assassins who have a base in the south of the Kingdom of Isaac. Depending on how much you're willing to pay, they can kill anyone, even royalty. Among them, the one named Spectre is the most feared. The other assassins do what they do for money, but not the Spectre. He's a monster who kills for fun. Target confirmed. Cleanup initiated. Scream and tremble. Your fear is my food. Let the begin. And all he gets is a punch from Gray. I have to finish off anyone who tries to attack Milady. Gray, you mustn't throw your sword. Oh, sorry. You're a good rider, young man. Milady, be careful. Please stay behind me. And he thinks, why is this human so intent on killing, as if he were a great lich? Is he a lich too? Or a necromancer? Or has he just killed too many people? It was quick. I didn't even see him move. Did he hit it? And Irene is frightened by what has happened, because our protagonist has been completely chopped up all over his body. Do you feel it, knight? You being cut to pieces? Huh, I didn't feel anything. And when the killer takes out his sword to see what's happened, it's broken in half. My sword! How did you say I got cut, you damn liar? Oh, I was so scared. What a horrible thing to do. Ouch, you liar. And Gray resorts to a slap. What a stupid guy. I can easily block the attack like that. And he gets slapped and flies away. What the hell is this guy? And Irene thinks, have these guys really understood that this is an assassination? This killer clearly broke his sword at the first moment, then kept swinging the broken blade over and over again, and Gray didn't even notice. They're crazy, both of them. Forget it, Gray. It doesn't matter. Just throw his body out of here. Okay, Milady. By the way, Milady, did you know from the start that the killer was coming? Of course, they come on average every 3 days, and since Horace and the others are no longer with me, I figured they'd come now. Every 3 days they try to assassinate you? And the protagonist thinks, this is worse than when I was being hunted in the underworld. Wait a minute, you came to serve me without knowing my situation? Well, I didn't know. You just told me you'd turn me into a knight, so I did. Well, it's not something new, but I'll explain it to you. In short, it's all about money and power. For these reasons, many people want me to disappear from this world. It is explained that everything began without any complications, but 2 months ago the Grand Duke of House Becher died an unexplained death. After his death, the Great Duke, in his will, specified that his only daughter, Irene, would inherit his title and estate. But at that moment, an illegitimate child suddenly appeared. Even though the Great Duke had an illegitimate son, according to the law, he had no right to inherit. The problem was that the illegitimate son was brought by the king himself. The king had the power to ensure that the illegitimate son had the right of succession, and because that illegitimate son was a boy, even with the great duke's will, he was the one who titled the inheritance instead of Irene. It's obvious that this was all a plot by the king. The king had had his eye on the Becher family's territory for a long time because he didn't want any bloodshed. Some people feared the king's authority, and even though they knew Irene was right, no one would dare help, even if they knew the truth. Others, seeing the benefits, tried to help the feudal lords to take advantage of the situation. In short, from the day she lost her father, many people wanted the 16-year-old girl to disappear as soon as possible, and so assassination attempts began to occur frequently. Already in the capital of the Duchy of Becher, the White City. Ah, this is. And we see several horses approaching the city, and in front is Irene. Lady Irene, open the gates, she's returned. Yes, great, open the gates and welcome. Well, she's back. Hello! As expected of Irene, I heard that she met a brave knight during her trip to Hamlet's harbor. Interesting, to say the least, and I'd like to see if he really is what the rumors say. Look, it's Lady Irene herself. Hey, is that the Silver Moon Knight who defeated a battalion of 100 people single-handedly? Okay, but what about it? Gray, did you understand what Lady Irene told you last night? To be honest, no, I didn't understand anything. A bastard son, inheritance, there were a lot of words I didn't understand, but I did understand one thing. I must defeat the king or I'll lose the cavalry I've conquered. That's pretty much it. By the way, and the protagonist gets distracted by the big city he's in now. The people there seem very happy and lively. This place is so alive. I love it here. That feeling of being alive, I'll take that as a compliment. Milady, you're right. The White City is a very vivid place. That's why I have to protect this place to keep it alive. Speaking of which, Gray, I'll prepare some new armor for you as soon as we arrive. Do you have any specific requests? Ah, new armor? Well, you're now considered an important member of the Becher family, so you have to have a decent suit, don't you? The armor must be made in the right style, with the right material and weight. I'll cover the cost of forging the armor, don't worry. I don't know much about it, so you can do it the way you see fit. You're pretty carefree, huh? Gray? Ah, well, it doesn't matter. There's one more thing to say. Besides, after we've rested and settled in, I'm going to invite all the nobles to a banquet and a ball. It's very important to let them know that I've returned alive and with all my troops and horses. So, as my guardian knight that you are, you must dance with me. I think there will be a lot of people who want to see your face, so get ready. And the protagonist is in complete shock because he's screwed now. But above the city, we see several feathers falling, and it seems that someone is watching the protagonist. Target confirmed. An immature Lich. Analyzing processes in accordance with the Treaty of Greystone. We have signed with the Liches that, before mutilating humans, we must observe the situation and avoid any kind of action against it. Sure, got it. And in the castle, at night, our protagonist's new armor was ready. Look at that, how magnificent. It even looks like an ancient rune. It's so beautiful. It's so cool. I love this armor. I can't believe they actually just measured the size of the other armor and remade it. Irene is very generous with you, isn't she? Yes, because Lady Irene is a super lord. Calm down, super lord. She asked you to dance with her at the ball. Did you forget? You're ready, right? And what would a ball be? A ball is a party where everyone gets together to eat and dance. And what's a dance? It's kind of like this. And the cat starts doing some dance moves. Oh, like what? That sounds like some kind of ritual. But it's kind of fun. I enjoy dancing. Mr. Silver Moon Knight, are you ready? Oh, please, wait a minute. Calm down, I'll be right out. Of course. What can I do for you? Hello, dear knight. Lady Irene wants to know if you're ready. Please follow me, she's waiting for you. Oh, yes, of course. My lady, the Silver Moon Knight has arrived. Okay, thank you very much. You can leave. We see that Irene is wearing a very beautiful dress, and she glares at the protagonist, who is embarrassed. What is that? What a cool dress. That would make such a magical robe. He wasn't looking at her, he was looking at the dress. Are you ready, Gray? Yes, I am, milady. Then let's go downstairs. And she holds out her hand. Yes, let's go. And her hand is still outstretched, but he stares at it, not knowing what to do. Irene waits for him to take her hand, but he doesn't understand that he has to. Didn't she just say we're going downstairs? Why is she standing there? Idiot! She wants you to take her hand so you can go together. Why do I have to do this? Is she hurt? Stop asking questions and take her hand. And Irene thinks, I should be angry like that, shouldn't I? Finally, he takes her hand, and they start slowly down the stairs. Milady, your dress looks fantastic. Ah, thank you. Can I put it on? What? What did you say? Can I put it on? Do you want to wear a dress? Can I wear a dress? You're a man, aren't you? Huh, a man. And Irene is shocked, and the protagonist is also shocked because she's shocked. Idiot! Do you want to reveal your identity? Do you want to be exposed? Oh, no! I really didn't want to. Forget what I said. It was a joke. I've got my armor. That's enough. And Irene begins to reflect on this. He doesn't want to take off his helmet. He refuses to take off his armor. He doesn't talk about his past. He stresses. Is this guy really a woman? While the dance was going on downstairs. Ah, Lady Irene has arrived. We see the two of them arriving. Very gallant, very elegant. Greetings, Lady Irene. Ah, so this is the Knight of the Silver Moon. I've heard that he single-handedly defeated more than 100 of Casper's men and that he managed to lift a huge tree with his bare hands. But why does he have a cat on his shoulder? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Betcher Ball. As the 13th heiress of the Betcher house, tonight I hope you all enjoy the party to the full. I hope to maintain the good relations that my family has with all of you and your respective families, just as in past generations. And she was looking strictly at one specific family in the background. But I'd also like to take this opportunity to resolve misunderstandings and move on, leading disagreements in the past. And she takes a sip of wine. Grandpa, I think she's talking about you. Yeah, I think so too. Lady Irene, who is that old man? And why do you seem to be staring at him? That's my Uncle Gregory over there. He's the third of the House of Gorgolo. The House of Gorgolo is a noble family with prestige and a long history. As well as wealth, they also have a long army and are the #1 family we won in battle against the king. But unfortunately, he refused my proposal. Doesn't that make things a bit difficult for us, milady? Don't worry, he's already here tonight, so that means I still have a chance. It's been a long time, Uncle Gregory. It hasn't been that long. We met a fortnight ago, didn't we? So, are you going to be my first dance, Uncle Gregory? Certainly, it would be a pleasure. And he takes Irene's hand to dance. And the protagonist thinks, huh, she's leading. I have to follow her. Easy there, Knight. Irene's going to have a dance with my grandfather now. What are you going to do? Oh, I can't follow her now. But of course not. If you really want to dance, I, Shelley, will dance with you, Gray. And she holds out her hand to him, and he doesn't know what to do again. Hey, cat, why did she come closer? Is there something wrong with her legs too? She wants to dance too. I don't think there's anything wrong with her legs exactly, but for Miss Irene's sake, I think you should keep your distance from this girl. Establishing distance, and she looks disappointed when she sees this. I'm not talking about physical distance, you idiot. Then tears began to fall from her face. Why do you have to do this to me? Am I not pretty enough? And the cat thinks, damn, this girl is good. Gray, go soon or we'll have a problem. Dance with her. But what do you mean? What do I do? Just, I don't know. Do something. Say something. Ah, Lady Shelley, I assure you that you are the most beautiful lady on earth. Anything. But Lady Irene is prettier than her. I'm not asking you to tell the truth. I'm telling you to praise her. Then he kneels in front of her. That's nonsense. Lady Shelley, I assure you that you are the most beautiful lady who has ever set foot on this earth. So, Mr. Gray, would you agree to dance with me? What do I do now? We don't have much of a choice. We just have to dance. It would be my pleasure. And she thinks, huh, my plan was a success, although the process was a bit embarrassing. I'd like to see what you really look like without the helmet, Silver Moon Knight. And the kitten thinks, oh, have fun while you can, miss. Later, you'll know that asking this guy to dance was the worst choice you ever made. Oh, you stepped on my foot. Oh, you stepped on me too. Oh, stop stepping on my foot. Oh, sorry, it's my first time dancing. Oh, that's fine. It's my first time too. It's the first time I've danced with a guy in armor too. And he keeps stepping on her foot. There's no need to rush. Take your time. You need to learn to guide me. But you dance better than me. You'd better lead me. It's not about who dances better. You're a man, so you have to lead the dance, understand? And the protagonist thinks, what is a man? She called me a man. Lady Irene called me a man. Am I really a man? But anyway, dancing is great fun. That's right, it's good training, isn't it? So that's Silver Knight. I hear he's very strong. He can carry a huge tree with his bare hands, can he? But why is he wearing the armor at the ball? It's not really safe in here, it's just his habit, Uncle Gregory. But by the way, the request you made earlier, could you reconsider? Irene, I don't refute the talent you've shown as Lord over the last 2 months. You're very good, but not good enough yet. The Gregorys only support those destined to win. That's the ancestral motto of the Gregory family, and it's the reason we've survived for hundreds of years. That's true, it's a shame. You're a fast learner, aren't you, big boy? It's getting boring sitting here in the hall for so long. Care to join me for a walk? Oh, yes, of course. Meanwhile, Shelley has an injured foot. Look, you kept stepping on my toes. Don't you have anything to say about that? Oh, sorry. I'm not asking you to apologize. Don't you want to find some ointment for me? Ointment? I don't know. A lubricant, anything. And the cat thinks, this girl is crazy, hitting on you. Huh, hitting on me? Yes, she's flirting with you, then she wants to hit on you, and then reproduce. That's what humans do. Ah, reproduce. What? Sorry, too advanced a word for an undead. Well, I didn't quite understand, but she wants me to help heal her foot, doesn't she? What are you doing? He starts using healing magic. Sacred healing. Oh my god, is that magic? A knight who uses magic? Hey, what are you doing? I came after Shelley because I was worried about her. I can't believe you were holding her little foot. Are all the knights of the Betcher family shameless like that? I challenge you to a duel. A duel. But he gets slapped by the kitten. That would be nice, wouldn't it? You asshole. Irene is trying to win the support of this girl's family. If you challenge the kid, you'll create problems. So don't fight. Just explain that you're doing a treatment, or curing, I don't know. And Shelley gets all embarrassed. What the hell? What's wrong with this girl? And we see those angel feathers again. Surely that was divine magic. How is an undead able to use divine magic? This is getting very interesting. It's very noisy outside. Has something happened? Miss Irene, that's not good. The Moon Knight seems to have insulted Lady Shelley of the Gregory family. Of the Gregory family, at that? It's not too much of a coincidence. Take me there. I need to look into the situation. Lord Moon Knight, aren't you going to explain yourself? But what do you want me to explain? Are you still playing dumb? Explain why you were humiliating Lady Shelley. What do you mean humiliating? What did I do wrong? Oh, you're so weird. You just can't admit it. Can you? Lady Shelley, could you explain to everyone what that bastard has done to you? Oh, I think you've got it wrong. And she thinks, what an idiot. Your Excellency, the Silver Moon Knight was helping to heal my injured foot. In fact, he didn't leave a scratch, and that's impressive. Lady Shelley is trying to defend you. Your kindness only harms you. There isn't a single remedy that heals instantly without leaving a scratch. Lady Shelley, you must have been tricked by this guy. And people start to believe this asshole, saying that there really is no such remedy, and our protagonist only gets more and more confused by it all. Oh, that's silly. Those words I don't understand. Cat, that's scary. Help me. Words are the least of the problems here. If you don't explain yourself properly, you're screwed. You'll lose your reputation completely. What's going on here, milady? Everyone is trying to insult me and saying something I don't understand. Help me, Miss Irene. Just in time. Knight Betcher's behavior was unacceptable. What the hell happened here? I came here and witnessed him hitting on Shelley. Shelley, did he touch you? Take it easy, uncle. Let's hear what those involved have to say. Gray? Well, I accidentally stepped on her feet while we were dancing, and I ended up hurting her, so I helped heal the wound. What about you, Lady Shelley? Well, Sir Knight, you can't use what you used on me in front of everyone. That? The thing I used to heal? I can't use it a second time in such a short time. And the protagonist thinks, my hand got burned after using divine magic because I'm a lich. If the other one gets burned too, I won't be able to control the armor. You see why it can't be used? It's ridiculous. You're a liar. You must have threatened Lady Shelley so she wouldn't expose you. A threat from the strongest knight in the Betcher family. Irene, before you ask for my help, I suggest you control your knight. Forgive me, Uncle Gregory, but I trust my knight much more than you. I'll take care of this myself and find out who the real liar is. I won't let this guy just walk away if I find out he's trying to tarnish my knight's honor. Good. And the guy gets nervous. Really? See? Then I'll stay out of the Gregory family business. Shelley, let's go. But the next morning, we see many men from an army heading towards Irene's castle. Splendid, milady. Count Felder has come to help with his entire army. Now that the military force of the 3 counts of the Betcher Dukes are in the city, the situation will turn in our favor. Felder, I've only just returned to the city and he's already come on the 2nd day. That's not much of a coincidence. By the way, Horace, where did that guy who accused Gray last night come from? That was Matt though, from the Modine family. Apparently, he's one of the suitors and he's fanatical about Shelley. So the reason he accused Gray must have been out of pure envy or jealousy. Milady, do you have any other concerns on your mind at the moment? No, we're going down to greet Count Felder. They go there and stand facing the great army. Welcome, Uncle Felder. My little niece. And Uncle Felder isn't late, is he? Of course not, Uncle. You've arrived at the perfect time. Oh, speaking of which, little Irene, did Gregory's old man make his position clear? Well, about that. Isn't that grumpy man going to take a side this time? Why don't we tie him up and beat the crap out of him? Please, Uncle, don't do that. Don't worry, I'm joking. And she slaps him so hard that he almost spits blood. Always making jokes, aren't you, Uncle? But Irene, seriously now, for some people, reason doesn't make sense. It's only when the going gets tough for them that they realize what they've gotten themselves into. Thanks for the advice, Uncle. But before that, who's in that carriage? There's my little son, Jimmy. He's not very well. The doctor said he can't get too much sun, which is why the carriage is covered. If the Civil War really starts, it would be dangerous to leave him at home, so I brought him with me. About Jimmy, can I see him, Uncle? But of course, come on. And she approaches the carriage to talk to Jimmy. Master Jimmy, Miss Irene from the Betcher family is here to see you. Hello, Miss Irene. I'm Jimmy Felder. Hello, little Jimmy. I've caused some trouble for your father. 1,000 pardons for that. I think it's okay. It was my father's wish. Uncle Felder, your son is a cutie. Yeah, I know. Everyone says that when they meet my little friend. You must have had a long journey. Please come and rest in the castle. Of course, I'd be delighted to go. And as the day goes on, with Count Felder helping out, the situation seems to improve a lot. Milady, yes, the situation seems to have improved a lot. Oh, is that right, Milady? You've been muttering something all morning. Why don't you tell me what's got you so worried? I just think it's too much of a coincidence that Felder has turned up now, and his son, Jimmy, is cute looking, but not at all like Felder. And the most important thing, Jimmy has gray hair. Meanwhile, in one of the castle halls, the same guy who had denounced Gray appears, opening the doors. What are you doing here? I told you not to come to Betcher Castle. Oh, I'm sorry, Count. Please give me another chance. I really didn't expect Irene to defend that Silver Moon Knight, but one chance is all I ask. I assure you that I will take that knight away from the Betcher. Meanwhile, our boy Gray was there, writing something. Gray, what are you doing now? I'm making a list of things I have to do while I'm a knight. At the ceremony to become a knight, Miss Irene made me read some vows. To fight bravely against tyranny and all evils, to fight for the helpless and help those who seek help, to hurt no woman, to help my brother knights, to be true to my friends, and to love them until the day death do us part. Liches and demons don't often swear oaths, but we honor our oaths, so I need to live by these promises. As soon as possible, I'll start with the easiest way to help, helping anyone who asks for my help. The Great White City is big, so there will always be someone who needs help. Wait a minute, are you going into town now? I don't really suggest you do that. Why? And when he asks, he's already hit in the face with a tomato. He's a bit perplexed, not knowing what to do. That scoundrel knight, how dare he ride a horse through the streets? And everyone starts swearing at him and throwing a bunch of tomatoes at him. Poor guy. Well, why don't they like me anymore? It was very different when I arrived in the city. I don't think it has anything to do with you personally. After that ball, people started spreading rumors about you. It wasn't an attack on you specifically, it was an attack on the Betcher family. So people only think you're a bad person because of these rumors. Don't be bad about it. No. There's no reason for me to be upset. Are you upset, man? It's better to let these people believe whatever they want and leave them alone. It's a bit of a shame shame, isn't it? Sad. This guy has a very strong mind, doesn't he? He's not even nervous about what's going on. It doesn't matter. The other group is about to kill. The streets of the White City are pretty busy, except for the strange looks I'm getting. There's nothing really wrong, to be honest. I think you should go back to the castle and report this to Lady Irene. Then suddenly everyone hears screams in the street. Hey, Sir Knight, Sir Knight, wait a minute. Lord Knight, please help me. Knight in white armor. And the protagonist is moved to tears. No problem, it doesn't matter. I'll fix your problem, whatever it is. Idiot, you didn't even ask what's going on. And suddenly a huge commotion breaks out, and people all go to see what's going on. Milady, the route is blocked by a crowd. Why don't we change our route? What's going on? I don't know. There seems to be a Silver Moon Knight there. I see. So your sister has been captured by gangsters, and they're demanding that you seek my help? Yeah, they went down that alley over there. Gray, this is a conspiracy. Are you really going there? Ah, but the boy asked for my help, not to mention that it's a conspiracy against me, so there's no problem. Well, that's all the more reason not to sit here and do nothing. The knight really comes on like a sucker. And Tito's thinks, this time, I heard they were bandits, but they're just a bunch of kids. I brought the knight you asked for, now give me my sister. I'm a man of my word. Then take him. And they throw the child. The sister, however, is rescued by our protagonist who manages to grab her. Are you alright? Oh yes, I am. Well, those boys wanted to ambush me, but they're all unarmed. And the little child thinks, Sir Knight, I'm very sorry for what I'm going to do now. Hey guys, the Betcher family knight is trying to kidnap a child. This knight doesn't even spare the children. Help, let me go. Oh crap. Hey, over there. Don't let him get away. I thought it was just a rumor, but I didn't expect him to dare do that to a child. Ah, get off your horse, you fucking knight. Oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Poor little girl, don't be afraid, we'll protect you. And the child who did it is kicking himself, going into the alley to hide. Come on, go and report the situation to the young master now. You must be flush with cash. That's great, except I feel a bit sorry for the knight. Until he is caught by the collar. So you know it's wrong, don't you? Hi, who are you? It doesn't matter to you who I am. First, tell me who your young master is who's going to give you a lot of money. And the little child starts to cry at that. But do you know who else is crying? Our protagonist. And why are you crying? You're a man, act like one. Why do I deserve to go through this? I'm just a cat. I thought you were a good knight. That's a terrible thing to do. What are you afraid of? How dare he do such a thing to one of us? Let's take him to the castle and let Miss Irene judge this guy. Oh my, what a mess. Are you Lady Shelley? Shelley, isn't that the girl from the rumors who was bullied by that knight? Yeah, that's her. She's a nobleman's daughter. Is she here to teach the knight a lesson too? What is it, people? Are you doing some kind of event without me? No, Miss Shelley, we're teaching this knight here who bullied you a lesson. Ah, evil knight. You mean Gray, the knight of the Silver Moon? I think you're mistaken. He never mistreated me. In fact, he helped me. But people are saying that in the things that happened at dinner he tried to kidnap a little girl. Good. So can I see which little girl this is? Lady Shelley, this is the little girl. You can ask her if you don't believe me. We all saw her being held by the knight. It was horrible. Oh, so you're the little girl, are you? Oh, but so small. How awful. He mistreated me. Lady Shelley, but aren't you a scammer? And she takes the hood off the child, who turns out to be a boy and not a girl. Oh, so you really are a boy, are you? What's going on? How can you be a boy? You've been set up by those boys. Hey, you can bring the other kids too. Yes, of course, miss. Weren't those the boys who shouted for help? You heard the rumors and decided to play a prank, didn't you? That's it, ma'am. Oh, wait, was it a prank? Does that mean we got the wrong person? That's right, you've been used to blame the wrong person. Haven't you understood yet, you idiots? Untie the knight. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. By the way, there's one more thing. When Sister Irene gave Gray the title of Knight of the Silver Moon, she also gave him the title of Baronet and a fiefdom. In other words, you've just insulted the honor of a baron for no reason. And as a baron, he has the right to punish each and every one of you. And the people begin to murmur, somewhat desperately. Oh, so I have a duty to punish them? Of course you do, Gray. Good! You have dared to insult my honor as a knight. I will punish each and every one of you. Oh no, please wait. We were wrong. It's too late. Mercy is not something criminals can claim. You will pay for this. Take this sign here and walk where I walk, and I will forgive you. And on the sign was written, the Lord of the Silver Moon Gray is a wicked and cowardly knight. He crossed it out and put good and nice. You're very funny. Gray, huh? Are you serious, sir? Will you forgive us if we do this? Of course. A knight always keeps his word, so I should go first? No, I'll go first. Yes, you can go together. So that's what happens when I give you a second chance, kid. Lady Shelley, thank you for your help. I finally sorted out that misunderstanding. Thank you very much indeed. I was just returning the favor. Didn't you help me too? By the way, you'd better report this to Sister Irene. I didn't say it in front of everyone, but the person who framed you was young Master Matt though, from the Betcher camp. Ah, the one who came after you on prom night, isn't he? And by the way, he wants to alienate you and Sister Irene. You'd better investigate him. This girl is strange. Her grandfather, Gregory, refused to join the Betcher family. Anyway, I feel there's something strange about her. Gray, ask her why she's telling you this. Ah, Miss Shelley, why would you bother telling me all this? Of course, if I get too close, I could drag the Gregorys into a war, but I think you're funny, so I don't think that would be good for you. And the cat thinks, oh, this girl is really weird. Okay, Sir Knight, I think this is where we part. I have to go to the theater near here. You should go back to the city and report directly to Sister Irene. Ah, good. Bye. See you next time. But suddenly Gray sees something that scares him to death. It was Matt though, who was rapidly approaching Shelley. He puts his hand over her mouth. Milady, don't you dare come any closer or I'll kill you. You look surprised, don't you, Shelley? Clearly, I did it so you wouldn't get involved in a war. You're very good, but you stuck your finger in helping that idiot knight. I was abandoned by the Lord. Why did you help him? You're not from the Gregory family. What did you see so great in that idiot knight? This guy is crazy. Let Milady go. Crazy? It's me. I'm insane. And even if I fail to sow discord, if I can eliminate that idiot knight, the Lord will be very happy. Listen up, you knightly bastard. I know you're strong enough to carry a big tree by yourself with your bare hands. I'll let you go, but you need to tear off an arm or a leg. Otherwise, I'll kill you. And Shelley thinks, this guy is crazy. Gray's not my subordinate, as if he'd do anything for me. Come on, do it. Aren't you a knight? I'm going to let her die, right? Understood. As long as I take off an arm and a leg, you'll let her go, won't you? Okay, I accept that condition. After all, it's only an arm and a leg, isn't it? I hope you keep your word. And he starts ripping the arm off the armor. What? Lord of the Silver Moon, you really rip. And I'm not crazy. You're crazy. I'm a knight. And he throws out his arm, hitting the boy square in the face. Good opportunity. Get him. The severed arm is just empty armor. He put the arm inside the armor. It was a trick, wasn't it? This guy thinks fast. You saved my life again. I'm so grateful. It's alright. Any writer in my situation would have done the same. You're so sure because you overpowered me, aren't you? Shelley, this is all your fault. If you hadn't helped that night, the Gregorys wouldn't be in this kind of trouble, would they? When the day comes, you'll be holding your grandfather's corpse and crying over it. In another scene, someone finally wakes up. You've finally woken up, our honorable Uncle Gregory. What? Where am I? The monster. Is this your mansion here? It's very well located. There's no one around and the guards are very weak. That means we'll have a good chat here, doesn't it? What do you want to talk about? Aren't you going to ask who we are or why we're holding you hostage? If you want to talk, then keep talking. I'm not begging you, and I won't ask. Besides, if you don't want to tell me, then there's no point in asking. And you're not here to kill me, otherwise you would have done it already. Of course, you're pretty confident, aren't you? I don't want to talk to you anyway. And he throws a knife that grazes Gregory's hair. Right now, you're going to write a letter to the fief and ask for troops to support the Betcher family against the king. Supporting the Betcher family? But you're not even Irene's man. And why should you care, old man? All you have to do now is send the damn letter, understand? I'm sorry, but I refuse. Do you think you have a choice? You still think you're an all-powerful count, don't you? If you don't send that damn letter, I'll kill you and everyone in this mansion. Oh, you want to kill me? Then go ahead. If you kill me, you won't get my letter or my seal. Immediately after my death, my son will inherit my title according to the will. It's a will that has been approved by the Archbishop, and even the king can't interfere with it. How could Felder send an idiot like you to kidnap me? What are you going to do now? Go back into his arms and ask him what to do in this situation. Why, you? How do you know that? Meanwhile, in the study room at Castle Betcher. Well, Uncle Felder, we need to discuss the distribution of our troops and the formation we'll make against the king. Excuse me, Miss Irene, forgive me for intruding, but there's a messenger for Count Felder waiting outside the castle. Oh, the messenger? Sorry about that, Irene. Excuse me for a moment. And she thinks, 6. A messenger? Abby, Roberts, send a message to Horace and tell him to follow Uncle Felder's messenger with some men. Okay? Oh, yes, of course, ma'am. Judging by his words, I inferred that I was the mastermind. As expected from that old Gregory Fox. Go back and tell them to do as they were instructed. As long as it's done, we don't have to worry about that old fox. He won't open his beak. Then he goes back into the room as if nothing had happened. Ah, you're back already, Uncle Felder? What happened? Nothing important, just a trivial letter from the fiefdom. Just fiefdom business. Right. By the way, Uncle Felder, I forgot to mention something. Due to the state of preparations for war, the White City is under my martial law, and without my orders, it's forbidden to open the city gates at night. So I'm curious as to how your messenger from the fiefdom got into the city. At this point, Felder realizes that Irene is much more intelligent than he thought. Back to the Gregory house. Smith, after all this time, why hasn't the messenger returned yet? Ah, boss, there's someone coming back. Ah, it's a messenger, isn't it? But I know her. Ah, it's the Gregory's daughter, Lady Shelley. I'm coming back. It's so dark, there's not a single candle lit. There's no one to welcome me either. And obviously, she didn't come unprepared, since she's with our protagonist's kitten, so we know it's a trap. Oh, I told my grandfather I couldn't trust the maids in the White City. This time, I'm going to fire them all. And the guy ties her up and throws her on the ground. A real godsend, Shelley. And she gives a little wink to her grandfather. Lord Gregory, I admit that you're a tough nut to crack, and the truth is that I can't do anything if you don't write the letter. But your precious granddaughter is another story, isn't she? Everyone in town knows how much you love her. What will happen to your precious granddaughter if you refuse to write the letter? You son of a __. If you touch Shelley, I'll tear you apart, shredding, the way you are now, old man. Even if I do something to your granddaughter right in front of you, what can you do? Jump up and hit me? Be careful not to hurt your back. How dare you son of a __. By the way, you should speak a few words. After all, it's not torture if there's no shouting. And Shelley only gives him tongue. Speak up, idiot. Your threats are ridiculous. I don't think you've managed to leave a single person under threat in your life, have you? I guess your master chose you because you weren't good enough to do all that shit, huh? Shut up. And he slaps her across the face. Shelley, you bastard. It seems that even the granddaughter has lost her mind after all that. So let's get to work now. So why don't you try your luck, little brat? And suddenly, the kitten jumps up and scratches the asshole's face. Where did that wildcat come from? Gray, now I leave it to you. What the hell is going on? Moments before it happened. That's quite a big house, isn't it? And at this time of night, there's not a single light on. There's something very wrong in there. Well, let's go and save them. No. There are at least 20 rooms in this mansion and at least 4 are secret. If we don't know my grandfather's exact location, we'll end up in a very bad situation. So how do we proceed in this case? Let me go alone. If there are any bandits, they'll surely catch me, and Sir Knight, when that happens, you'll find a way to follow me and finish them off. My armor isn't very stealthy, you know? It'll make a lot of noise, but I'll be able to find the location. I'll go straight there. In the meantime, keep my cat with you. Huh, the cat? What do you want me to do? And if I know the location, how am I going to tell you, you asshole? No, I'm not asking you to do that. Just keep it hanging around your neck, okay? Oh, what's that? It's an amulet. It's a device I stole from the great Lich. When you find the room you're in, throw the amulet on the floor and call my name. With that, you'll summon me into the room. But what is it? A person has appeared out of nowhere. That's definitely magic. Is this guy related to the divine spirit? In the end, all sins will be removed and all souls will light up. There is not a single space for shadows where the brightness of the sun touches. I am Gray, the Knight of the Silver Moon. In the name of the Holy Spirit, I will launch sanctions against you. And at that moment, when he spoke of the Holy Spirit, the messenger of the Holy Spirit sneezed. Why are they talking about it in Asia? Boss, is this the Silver Moon Knight everyone is talking about? Yeah, I know it's him. Are you afraid of this asshole? Even if he's good, he's alone. Together, we can put an end to his kind. Take that. And the first one attacks the protagonist with a dagger, and when it gets close to his eye, he steps to the side and dodges. The most he did was scratch his armor. Taste my sword. And he throws the sword again, and the guy is thrown very far. Don't be afraid, he only has physical strength. Finish him here. This this battle is already mine. And when the main guy goes to attack, he's blocked, and his hand starts to bruise and bleed. He realizes that he's wrapped in several magical threads. Oh, what the fuck? And the protagonist keeps running with these wires around him, making the whole room full of them. Quadruple chain technique, beam of illumination. And in the next scene, they're all beaten and tied up. Shelly, are you alright? My wrists are pretty bruised, but I'm fine. What about you, Grandpa? I'm fine too. By the way, that night, what was that sudden appearance he made? Those chains bathed in, no matter how I look at it, that's magic. The only human in this world capable of using magic freely is a paladin of the Holy Order. Did Irene get a favor from the Holy Order? Is that why he didn't want to go public? With that, I think I can reassess the Betcher family's situation. So, Miss Shelley, what do we do with these guys here? Oh, I'll take care of that. First of all, your name is Eddie Daniel, isn't it? Oh, how do you know that? I know a lot of things, because I'm a free woman and I can find and know a lot of strange things these days. Like, for example, that your family lives on 38th Avenue, Sephora Street, and your mother is blind, and your sister is. How old is she? No, don't do anything with them. They have nothing to do with what I do. And what about my family? We haven't done anything against you either. I just want to tell you the truth. It doesn't matter who sent you and for what purpose you attacked my family, but you failed. And what will happen to you? The witnesses who were ordered to attack the Gregory family and failed. Even I know who you are and who your family is. So the one who sent you here should know much better, shouldn't he? Now I'm offering you suckers two choices. The first is to identify the old bastard who sent you here, and the second option is that all of you will die here. We'll destroy all the evidence that incriminates you, and we'll pretend that nothing happened tonight. Your families won't be implicated by this, of course. But if you go against this man, your whole family will die anyway. I hope you keep your word and don't do anything against my family. But just as he was about to speak, he spit out a lot of blood. He bit into a poison capsule hidden in his teeth. Pathetic. Suddenly Shelley hears noises at the window. What is it, Grandpa? The Betcher family is here. Irene really doesn't waste any time, does she? It seems she was following the messenger who was sent to the thief. Let's go and see them. There's no point in waiting. It's time to have a better chat with Irene. Do you have anything you'd like to tell me, Uncle Felder? Like, what I've been talking to you about, haven't I? For some people, reason makes no sense, and only when they are hurt do they understand the true correct alternative. But I didn't allow you to do such a thing. But you didn't refute it, did you? And I remember your answer very well. Thank you, Uncle, for your assistance. Don't give me that cold look. Trust me, after that incident, that grumpy fox will have to grovel for mercy. Irene, you should know very well the difference between you and your father. Supporting you is a big risk, and when you were weak, your uncle, did so much for you. You should be grateful, but I've also learned a big lesson. It's just a joke. He tried to fool us by sending a letter supporting the Betcher family. The old count got involved in this incident so that the Gregory family would think it was the Betcher family. How dare he demand gratitude? I don't understand why you should be polite to your uncle. Calm down, Abby. Attacking him now would shake up the forces that have just joined us. If Felder has a hidden agenda, then that's something that should leave Allegra wondering what comes next. And Count Gregory, is he alright? Thanks to Gray, the old count is fine. Horace picked him up at the castle and put him in the carriage. Gray, he's everywhere, isn't he? And it seems that Gray is also one of Felder's targets. He was able to find the count's house by following these clues. So you've come, haven't you? Sorry to come so late at night, Uncle Gregory. No, don't worry, it's not that late. Did you talk to Felder? Yes, I did. And what was your part in this incident? Well, his explanation was that he wanted to subdue the Gregory family so that I couldn't make any moves against him. But what worries me most is that he might be an informer for the king. He's not an idiot to touch me. If he touched me today, he would have caused quite a stir for the Beckers. And once that uproar was caused in Betcher land, it would be a logical excuse for the king to send his troops. But I'm curious, why did you suspect him so immediately? Because he brought his only son, Jimmy, to the White City. But Jimmy has snow-white hair, which is quite unusual. We're the only ones in Isaac's kingdom with that blood heritage. So you mean this Jimmy could be the bastard son who was found by the king? But why would he bring the kid to the White City? Wouldn't it give him a chance to be attacked? I don't understand it either. The only thing we can do is watch it all unfold. And we see Felder heading towards large doors that appear to be from a chapel. It's very late at night now, so there's no one there when he opens it, but there is a person inside. How dare you come to me at this hour? It It looks like you're in trouble, doesn't it, Dad? Felder is speechless and drops to his knees. I apologize, my lord. I'm really sorry. That's fine. You don't have to be so formal, and I don't like hearing that kind of thing. Tell me, what happened to make you come to me for help? It's the night of the silver moon. He's sabotaged our plans several times since Hamlet's port. He's a strange guy. Nobody knows where he came from. He acts like a child most of the time, but he has a lot of resilience. He doesn't mind gossip, and he's also very powerful, with the courage of 100 men. And most importantly, he's loyal to Irene, which makes everything very problematic for us. Of course, I understand very well what you want. You want this silver moon night to disappear accidentally, don't you? Of course, I'll help you with that, not least because I've become curious about this guy. And we see a pair of bat wings on the child's back, and Felder is all excited to see this second form of his bastard son. Meanwhile, outside, someone grabs one of the bats that has flown off. New target confirmed, just a minor vampire. Requesting permission to crush him. Denied. You must act according to protocol for the Lich until the other side kills a human. Until then, just watch. Okay, you just did it for me. You did it for me, that's for sure. No, that's all your fault, Professor. I'd say you're protecting these divergents too much. First a Lich, now a vampire. Perhaps one demon or another will appear in the next few days because of this deal. We can't just watch the ferocity of these damn divergents without doing anything. It's disgusting. Calm down, Catherine. If we don't obey the rules, then there will be no difference between us and them. Well, is it just me who has this feeling that more and more divergents will appear in this city in the future? In the next scene, it's early the next morning. I'd like to know your opinion on the alignment of our defense. Well, with the army of that old fox there, we can make a much longer defensive line. I have no problem with a larger defensive line, but please don't put my army on the same level as this guy's. Otherwise, who knows? Otherwise, who's to say he won't stab me in the back? Are you willing to fight on our side against the king? He gets a little nudge and listens. Dad, what are you doing here? You're not well. You need to rest in your room. But you haven't played with me since we arrived. I'm sorry, little Jimmy, but Daddy's very busy right now. Can't you play with someone else? Then I'll play with that knight, the one in the white armor. In the next scene, Jimmy is carrying a lamp. Oh, Jimmy, didn't you want to play? Why are we going to the castle dungeon? Don't worry, we'll be there soon. Welcome to the underground playground, where no one will bother us. Silver Moon Night. Underground playground? This isn't the White City dungeon. Why did you bring us here to play, Jimmy? Ah, young lady, please measure your words. I only invited the knight. You came as a brat. Huh, I don't care. Yes, we'll play together. Okay, since you insist, playing with us is probably better that way. The game is quite simple. It's called The Fearless and the Dragon. It's said that a long time ago there was an evil dragon living in this dungeon. He kidnapped the white-haired princess who lived in the White City, which led to fury among the population, and eventually the Fearless One emerged and killed the dragon. Isn't that a great story? And Jimmy uses the Eye of the Illusionist ability. This creates a kind of sonar, an aura around both Gray and Shelley, and now they are under his mental control. You're the Fearless One and you're the dragon. You're both mortal enemies now, and from now on, it's not over until one of you is dead. Fight each other for the princess, the Fearless One, and the terrible dragon. I just wanted to say that I didn't want to be the dragon. Can I be the Fearless One? What's it like? The Fearless One looks like a handsome guy, a prestigious knight, you know? That's me, isn't it? And Jimmy thinks, what happened? My magic didn't work on him? That's impossible. Unless his magic is stronger than mine, the magic eye would never fail. He's only human. Shut up. Who gave you permission to call yourself a knight? You're just the evil dragon's mount. Now, get on all fours. There it is, 1,000 times over. Mr. Black Cat, can you stop? And Jimmy thinks, oh, I didn't miss. I just missed the target. Okay, fine. Anyone can make that mistake. I'll try again. And he uses the illusionist's eye on Gray again. Evil beast, get on your knees. And Jimmy tries to use magic several times, but Gray seems unaffected. Mr. Cat, you can stop now. Don't ignore me. It took me a lot of determination to use that magic again. And he thinks, damn, it looks like his magic eye isn't working on him. What's going on? Oh, damn, now I realize she came along. I hadn't realized she was here. And why is she holding a brick? Ah, Princess, please back off. Oh, that's alright. It looks like my hypnosis worked on her. But why is she calling me princess? My god, the story I told, she thinks I'm the white-haired princess. Princess, please step aside. Your fearless hero will destroy the abomination that this dragon represents. Meanwhile, Gray is fighting the cat, and Shelly is already preparing the brick, and the scene Jimmy sees scares even him. Lady, what's wrong with you? Lady Shelly, stop hitting me. Lady Shelly. And Gray just falls to the ground, all screwed up. Your Majesty, we're going back to the castle together now. What? Don't come near me. Somebody help me. Help! And it is said that, in the depths of the White City dungeon, the cries of a certain teenager echoed throughout the day. Doctor, we need you in the treatment class. Ah, Gray, I need an explanation. Why did Miss Shelley fall into a deep coma after being dragged into that prank in the afternoon? Ah, Miss Irene, it wasn't just Miss Shelley. Even my cat is unconscious, and I don't know why. According to what Graham said, they just went to play, didn't they? Milady, the doctor's diagnosis is ready. Abby Roberts starts whispering in Irene's ear. Miss Shelley and the cat have been infected with some kind of black magic that requires a priest of the church for treatment. Black magic. Jimmy did it, didn't he? But why is Gray okay? I don't know. Maybe it's because Gray is a great devotee and has the protection of the divine spirit. In other words, do you think he can handle little Jimmy? In the next scene, we see several bats carrying what looks like a vial of blood. They enter one of the windows, and suddenly one of the bats turns into a girl. Master Jones, I brought food. Master Jones, what is it? Why are you like this? Oh, Dora, you stink as much as ever. My god, have you been crying since yesterday? Who hit you? I'm going to wipe him out. Keep it down. Girl, let's control ourselves. If anyone finds out about us. A human girl threatened me with a brick and I was hugged by her in public. I'm very ashamed of myself, but I'll get my revenge. It's good to be threatened by an older girl, isn't it? If it were anyone else, they wouldn't have that opportunity. But a laugh throws you out of the window, doesn't it? It's all Felder's fault. If he hadn't asked me to do this, I wouldn't be in this situation. If it happens again, my big sister will suspect me. Damn, why didn't my hypnosis work on Gray? Actually, Master Jones, I don't think it's necessary to complicate things any further. As long as you give the orders, it doesn't matter if it's Gregory, the Silver Moon Knight, or even that Irene. I can kill any one of them. No reason. My ass. He slaps her across the face. Listen here, we can't take the initiative to kill people. That was our agreement with the divine spirits. Our actions are not discreet. Surely there must be an angel watching us here, and it would be a tremendous disaster if they caught us doing it. But angels are stupid. As long as we don't kill anyone, they won't come after us. Understand? What, Miss Catherine? You've matured. You shouldn't talk to lesser vampires. Let's put the sword down, okay? Please don't be impulsive. What are you talking about, Master? I only took the sword out to clean it. How can that be impulsive? What's the point of polishing a lightsaber? Are you out of your mind? It's not even dusty. Young Master, I understand what you're saying, but if this stalemate goes against us, what should we do? Oh, nothing. As I've already planned, I'll get rid of that Silver Knight at some point. Go and send a message to the king so that he sends his troops from the shadows. And suddenly he starts spitting out the blood he was drinking. Dora, why does this blood smell like wine? You know I hate alcohol. Oh, I sucked the blood of a drunk. A drunk? A drunk! Couldn't you have sucked the blood of some pretty girl? But, young Master, only drunks can have their blood sucked without anyone suspecting the wounds, can't they? And there's a rumor that the Northern Clan has started taking blood from pigs in order to survive. And you're complaining? This is pig's blood. But I'm a full-blooded vampire and I've been reduced to drunk blood. Just you wait, Jones. I'm going to revive the great race of true blood. I am hope. Oh, Master Jones, our light of hope. Until, in his room, the sun hits him in the face and Gray is there with a little smile. Why are you in my room? He feels very violated being seen in his pajamas by Gray. I've been ordered to play with you, little one. Miss Irene told me to take care of you. And she also said that the game we played last time was very dangerous. Huh? So let's play something lighter this time, shall we? From now on, I'm going to be like your father. Let's go outside and walk in the sunshine. The sun? No, not the sun. And he melts when he sees the sun. Hey, what's the matter, son? And the poor guy is there, lying on the ground, all fucked up because of the sun. In the next scene, they're already out in the sun. Hey guys, what's that over there? We see the poor guy in child's armor on top of Tito's with our silver. Ah, Silver Knight, good morning, sir. Good morning to you too. Would you you like to come in and have a cup of coffee? Wouldn't that be too much trouble? All right, sir. Thank you. Damn it, how did I end up like this? I have superior blood. Back to the bedroom scene. Oh, I'm sorry, Demizinho. I didn't know you were afraid of the sun. Close those curtains. Something very bad could happen. But, Demizinho, as the son of a knight, you can't stay here in your room all day. You must go outside and get rid of your fear of the sun so that we can have a father-son interaction. Understand? Who would want to interact with you? You're obsessed and talking to me, aren't you? Get out of my room. I'll call the guards. No, I can't do that because Miss Irene asked me to play with you all day. So come on, Jimmy, come and have fun with your daddy. A legendary incident awaits us outside. What's wrong with you? Why do you do everything she says? Were you raised by her, by any chance? But our protagonist simply throws a punch, which doesn't hit Jimmy, but completely destroys the bedroom wall. Miss Irene also instructed me that it's okay to beat up a child if they don't listen to me. So, Jimmy, let's cooperate. That lunatic made a hole in the wall with just the pressure of his fist. Damn, even the unruly demon. I won't stand for it. Just you wait, you stinking knight, you'll be screwed in a few days. Meanwhile, that bunch of kids who tried to screw over our protagonist the other time are going there to try to apologize, but they're embarrassed. Hey, you! Oh no, he saw us. Don't hang around these alleys, you could end up in trouble, huh? And the child is surprised that he actually spoke very nicely to them and didn't scold them. Ah, Sir Knight of the Silver Moon, excuse us. Huh, what are you talking about? We're sorry about that ambush we laid against you. We are orphans adopted by the church and, after society went on alert for war, the church's finances were all cut off. And we helped that guy in exchange for money. Instead of punishing us, you gave all the belongings to the church when you found out about all this. We respect you infinitely for that. You're a true knight. And Gray is thrilled by this compliment. Relax, kids, I just did what a knight should do. Don't take it personally, okay? All knights do that. But you were the only knight who helped us. So we promise that when we grow up, we'll be great knights like you. That's it, we're going to become knights too. Do you really want to become knights? Yes, we're serious. If that's the case, why wait until they become adults? We can start right now and form an order of knights. Huh, can we do that? Well, why not? Let's go to church and get some knight commissions. Are you serious, Sir Knight? Can we wear armor? Oh, and let me introduce you to my son, Demizinho, who I adopted this morning. He even adopted a child. Oh, Mr. Gray is so incredible. But when they arrived at the church, the pastor was already shaking. Sir Knight, what would that be? Well, I want to make these children little knights, father. And the priest thinks he's joking, right? Child knights? He's a great guy, but he's a bit clueless. Oh yes, but of course, we're going into the church. But there's someone praying in the church at the moment, so you need to wait a bit and be quiet. Praying, it's the first time I've set foot in this church in the White City. And the person praying was wearing a hood and had white hair. Our protagonist is a little freaked out by this. Your Excellency, you are the Knight of the Silver Moon, correct? Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Catherine. And the protagonist thinks, that feeling, no, it won't be. Humility, integrity, compassion, and valor. Justice and sacrifice, honor and faith. We will not fear any stronger enemy, but face them with courage and joy. We will not bring disgrace to the divine spirit, but stand firm. We will protect the weak and never fear death, never disobey God's laws. We will fight bravely against violence. We swear to fight against injustice. While they are taking the oath of knighthood, our protagonist has his sword ready to make the blessing. We swear allegiance to Gray, and all his enemies will be our enemies, and all those who defy his will be our enemies. And I, Gray, Knight of the Silver Moon, accept your allegiances. I hereby agree to conceive them by the sacred title and swear that as long as they do not break their promises, I will protect them with my life. And the children are all thrilled. But after that, he starts to think, did she come here to kill me? I'm not going to do anything against you. After all, you haven't broken any laws or killed anyone. I'm just curious about you. Sit down, let's talk for a while. And he sits down, trembling, next to the Archangel. Yeah, so, hi, why do you want to be a knight? Ah, why be a knight? Because it's awesome, it's incredible. You know these legends, don't you? And, what about people's respect? There's nothing better than being respected. And she thinks, but that reason, shouldn't you be ashamed of being a nice lich? Maybe you think it's nice to be a knight for now, but it's not an easy path. One day, if you don't get the respect of others, and even if the lords start questioning your decisions, being a knight won't make you happy, but will make you even more confused and miserable. Even so, do you intend to remain a knight? And the protagonist thinks, well, how can it be painful to be a knight? I don't understand. And besides, Lady Irene is a good lord. She doesn't question me. The angelic lady should know Irene's law before talking to me. He says this as he is leaving the church. Knight, knight, good thing you haven't left yet. That's it. From now on, we're knights. But calm down. Don't get carried away. Listen, as knights, you're still new, okay? I'll bring armor and horses tomorrow, then we'll start training. Before that, you need to think of a name for the order and also a flag. Oh, you're very great, Chief Gray. You're like a real knight commander. Oh, that's stupid. I'm not a leader. Call me chief or captain. And Gray thinks, seriously, these people. Pastor, what do you want with me? I've come here to thank you, Sir Knight of the Silver Moon. With your help, those taken children have begun to read even the sacred scriptures of their own free will. My admiration for you only grows. By the Holy Spirit, a powerful knight like you should be recognized by the Divine Order. The approval of the Divine Order? In other words, you're going to help me join the Divine Order? That's pretty much it, but your excellency should know that the rest of the church has already left the city. With the preparations for the war in the White City, they left me here to look after the children, and I can't look after so many children on my own. If you can provide financial help, you won't leave the children behind, will you? Do you need money? Alright, I'll go to the tavern and be right back. Why is he going to the tavern to get money? And it's already night. Master Jones, what's wrong with you? Poor Jimmy's all messed up. Are you at least still alive? Thanks to you, I'm still here, but why are you pale like that? What have they done to you? You can't even imagine how much I've suffered today. That stupid knight came into my room this morning and said he wanted to be my father. When I refused, he punched the wall and forced me out. Then he put me in armor and dragged me around in the sun all day. And the most absurd thing he could have done, he dragged me to church. I'd never set foot in a church. I'm a vampire. I was traumatized by that day. Meanwhile, the vampirist just starts laughing in his face. Are you laughing? Laughing at my miserable day? How can you do that? But she hugs him. Calm down, Master Jones. You're so sweet. I'm not sad, but I'm going to give you a hug, okay? Oh, let me go. Let me go, you traitor. And since you're as weak as you say, Master, why don't you let me ask the king's troops to come here? No, I don't think I'd be able to sit on a throne conquered by force like that. Oh, don't worry. I'll cope. For the sake of the resurrection of the royal blood race, the storms I experienced today were a gift from heaven to make me stronger. Nothing can stop me from becoming a royal blood monarch, as expected from Master Jones. Let's go get him. Man, even though he's the villain, I'm really liking him and this little vampire girl. These scenes are really good. Meanwhile, in the tavern where our Prada went to get some money, that knight over there has some skills. Those idiots are just wasting their time. I won again. It's not possible. I've obviously changed my cards. Well, I guess this should be enough for church, shouldn't it? I hope the pastor isn't expecting me for too long. Stop right there, knight. You've made me lose all my wages for the month. Give me some change, at least. How much do you need? Hey, I marched. Silver coin. Okay, here you go. Just don't lose it again. But I can't give you the rest. I'll donate it to the church. It's okay. I'll consider this my reward for my work. And the guys are going to take advantage of Gray's goodwill, right? Since he's handing out money. Hey, Sir Knight, we need money too. The guys start making excuses, saying that their mother is ill, that they need money for medication. Oh my god. He stays up until the morning, giving money to others. It's not just the pastor, it seems. Other people need money too. I need to find a way to get money faster in the next few days. There are only 2 silver coins left. Alright, I think the pastor will like it, at least. And back to the church. Boss Gray, we've thought of a name. We're going to call it the Super Invincible Order of the Silver Moon. And we've made a banner too. We worked all night on it. My god, how incredible. Let's start training and become the #1 knights of the White City. Yeah, let's go. Oh, by the way, boss, isn't your son coming today? That's right, I almost forgot about him. I'm going home and I'll bring Jimmy with me, okay? Master Jones? No, not now. Please. What's wrong with you? The wrong thing? On Monday, I was dragged out into the sun to learn how to ride a horse. On Tuesday, I learned fencing in the hot sun, but that night was worse than me. And after that, I had to study knightly tales, dances, and even do some cleaning. That invincible knight obsessed with women's clothes. Why doesn't he wear a logo? I mean, oh, how sad. I can't wait any longer. I'm going to be tortured to death by that night. Dora, you can tell the king to act right now. But didn't you say you wouldn't act until you were ready? And wouldn't that be useless for that unstable duke? The situation has changed. It won't do any good. I'll just end up dead. Understandable. I, Dora, will make the preparations. And off she goes, turning into a bat. In the next scene, we see a desperate knight making his way to the castle. It's urgent, urgent. The king has sent a letter to all his subjects, and several of the lords are going to gather with their troops in the direction of the capital of Lion. It seems the king is determined to go to war, so he's forming a line of defense. And he wanted to take the children riding, but there weren't enough horses for everyone. So he made me get down on all fours so they could ride me. He's probably going to kill me soon. Calm down, young master. I can talk to the king again. Urgent news. The king is sending his troops straight to the capital. The rendezvous point has changed to the border of the Duchy of Becher. Is the king underestimating? It's not. I'm finished. Come on, end my miserable existence. Ah, that's it, master. In the next scene, Irene is figuring out what she's going to do with everything that's happening. In short, the king is going to cross the marsh during the rainy season, which will result in a loss of provisions, and march through the snow-filled mountains for days and nights. What do you two think about that? Oh, I don't know. I think the king is a bit confused, isn't he? Then we see the king riding with his army, even faster. We're marching at full speed. Even if we reach the White City in this condition, we won't be able to fight. Your Majesty, don't you want immortality? Oh, I understand. I'll find a way to speed things up. Irene is also preparing for war. Milady, the warriors have been summoned. I'll be there soon. As she climbs the stairs, she sees a light outside. But the scene she comes across are huge battalions. There are a lot of soldiers in that picture. Warriors of the Duchy of Becher. The heartless king intends to invade our land by despicable means. The day of battle approaches. Rely on your swords. Behind us is our home. We cannot retreat. May glory always shine for the Becher. Until Horace looks at one of the battalions and becomes very confused. Oh, it was so amazing. Lady Irene is our lord. It really was incredible. Why are there children in the battalions? Where's the commander? Ah, Lord Horace. Wait a minute. My Lord Horace, these children were climbed by the Knight of the Silver Moon. He says they're members of his order. That's it, big uncle. We're the members of the super awesome Order of the Silver Moon. And Horace is completely unresponsive and obviously calls Gray in for a very serious meeting. The children are nervous, not knowing what's going on. Gray, are these children you've recruited for your order? They have a lot of potential. Do you want to take children to the battlefield without their parents' consent? Don't worry, Miss Irene, we're orphans. We're from the church and the pastor left us. Orphan children, we are orphans and we want to become knights and protectors of the nation. We will dedicate our hearts to this. I'm pleased with your performance, but can we talk to your leader alone for now? Chef Gray, I'll see you on the battlefield. Yes, of course. Gray, take those children back to the church now. I'll leave someone to look after them, but they are members of my order, ma'am. Perhaps at some point in the future, these children will become great knights, and that's why I can't let them take part in this war. War is a place that can hurt and even kill. They won't get hurt as long as I'm here. As long as you're here? Well, do you even know what war is? Have you ever battled armies? Of course I know what war is. It's on the battlefield that a knight deserves himself and a great story begins to be told. For us, the battlefield is a well of extreme fervor. It's the meeting point of life and death, where swords and shadows cross paths. It's where knights born of poverty make their names. It is a place where all knights who seek merit and glory thrive. War is sacred ground. And now, late at night. Hey, partner, how long do you plan to hide inside the stable? I think I made Miss Irene angry, and she told me to find a place to reflect on my action. And Lord Black Cat hasn't woken up yet. Let me stay here for a while. Did you really manage to make pretty milady angry? Come on, tell me. I'd love to hear that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, tell me so I can analyze the situation, of course. Actually, I didn't even want to remember that, my friend. Merit and fame. Is that the only thing you care about? If you want to build a career or seek more glory, I won't stop you. But they're only children, you arrogant bastard. More than merit, the battlefield means bloodshed and sacrifice. Your achievements, if you can call them that, are all built on the piles of bodies you've made. The reason we pick up our swords and fight is to prevent our children from having to do that. Do you understand? But they are no longer children, and although they need to grow up, they are all good knights. And I can protect them on the battlefield so that they help win the war. You don't have to worry about that. Protect them? How are you going to protect them? Can you protect them from 50 men? And from 100? 1,000? 10,000? If 10,000 men arrive, in the blink of an eye, the children will be dead, and you don't have the ability to protect them from death. But death isn't a terrible thing, is it? You don't have to be afraid of death. Even if they die, I can bring them back. What did you just say? And then she told me to rethink what I'd done and said that there was something very wrong with me. And then, analyzing the situation, tense, can you understand why Milady is angry? Well, why did she get angry? Boy, do you know what it's like to be alive? Oh, no, I don't understand many of the implications of being alive. It's because I never was, really. Do I count as alive now? Well, I don't think so. If I were alive, I could eat carrots. They would keep me satisfied all day. But now I can't eat carrots, even though I can still move. But the dead don't need to eat, they just need their souls to stay alive. But while I was alive, I had dreams in which I could sometimes turn into a bird or maybe a fish. But with magic, you can fly and you can also swim. But it's not the same thing. If you're alive, you can eat delicious food, smell flowers, feel the temperature. But if you're dead, you can't feel anything, even if you're still conscious. You have no understanding of that, no matter how hard you try. Understand? I think I understand. So that's why she's angry? Yes, sir, I think that's why. So how am I supposed to understand all this? Maybe you could go to a tavern and use your magic to taste the food. That's a really cool experience. Tito's, you're a genius. Let's go to the tavern and eat. Let's drink together and remember to order 2 carrots for me. From today, I want to experience what it's like to be alive. That's right, learning to enjoy life is the first step to becoming a great knight. Just, please, don't bet again. Suddenly, Great comes across a fight between a man and a woman. Let me go, woman. That's all that's left of the family money. You're already in debt and have 2 severed fingers. Please don't bet again. You don't know anything. I'll sort it out. Get off me or I'll hit you. Hey, old man, don't hurt the woman. Aren't you the knight from before? I'm in debt because of you. I won't be able to resist gambling now. Not only do I owe money, but I've also had 2 fingers cut off. It's your fault. You have to make it up to me with more money. Okay, if you stop abusing the woman. No, Sir Knight, don't give him any more money. He had his fingers cut off because he gambled. I'm very afraid that he'll be beaten to death this time. So please don't give him any more money. Shut up, woman. Sir Knight, she doesn't know anything. Give me the money. I only have 2 silver coins with me. I was going to give it to the priest, but you can take it. You're kidding, right? No! Is that all the money you have? Don't be ridiculous. Aren't you a baron? You're a nobleman. How can you not have any money? I've lost 2 fingers. It's all your fault. Where's your honor? Please stop that, man. And our protagonist is faced with anger and sadness on his face. But what am I doing? That's not what should be in the night book, is it? Urgent, urgent. King Bardviai's army has left the great snowy mountains and is heading towards the territory of the Duchy of Becher. The day has finally come. I'll give you an overview of the current situation. Bard 6 is currently beyond the Great River, west of the White City, after half a month of hurried marching. According to the scouts, he has brought 40,000 troops under his direct command, compared to 20,000 of ours. With the troops already sent by nobles from all over the nation, I'm afraid that Bard 6 could mobilize something like 100,000 troops. It's a gigantic imbalance between our forces. Once he crosses the Great River, we won't have a chance to defend ourselves. That said, fighting a war is not just a question of numbers. We still have a chance, even now, to win this battle. You need 3 main elements: timing, location, and manpower. Bard 6 has been marching for half a month. His soldiers are exhausted, and it also happens to be the rainy season in the Duchy of Becher. If he takes another 2 days, the West River will rise in heavy rain and become even more difficult to cross. So he's not at an advantage because of the weather, and the knights in golden armor are far from the capital at the moment. I imagine that the muddy banks of the river will make the knightly orders suffer greatly as a result. They can't gain an advantage from the terrain. As for the staff, you know more about this topic than I do, Irene. There's nothing to intimidate you, is there, Uncle Gregory? Well, before the alarm went off, I sent people to occupy the high ground on both sides of the river. All we have to do now is break up the boats before Bard can get organized. Let's finish him off in one fell swoop. This is the best time to attack the king. Tonight, neither of you will sleep. I want you both to join me in this battle. We're all in the same boat now and we should be on the battlefield. It's time to leave. Oh, by the way, milady, after the alarm, Gray didn't show up at the barrack. Should we send someone someone to find him? Don't worry about Gray. He's got some things to think about now. If he really wants to go to the battlefield, he'll show up. If he doesn't, we can't force him. Ah, I see. There's also something else I need to report to you. Lady Shelley, who has fallen into a deep sleep, has woken up and asked me to inform you of something in particular. The child called Jimmy has knowledge of black magic to manipulate people's hearts and is probably not human. If this is true, it's no longer just a war of humans against humans. We really do have non-humans in this place. Meanwhile, our protagonist is very sad in the tavern, and people are asking why he's not in the war since the alarm has sounded. Ah, what a sad life. Until someone throws a fishbone at his head, and when he looks up, it's the Black Cat. Ah, Mr. Black Cat, my goodness. I take a nap, and when I wake up, a war is already going on. First of all, forget about Irene and the crazy drunk. You were wrong in that situation. You gave him money and he caused more problems because of it. In the end, he's just holding a grudge against you. I'm just fulfilling my vows. I'm trying to help people, but I don't understand why it ended this way. Oh, you poor naive, stupid child. The human world is much more complicated. Come here, I'll teach you a few things. See that one the guys are screwing? According to the knight's oath, you'd have to help her, wouldn't you? But judging by her clothes, she's probably a girl of the night, and if you go in there and rough up her clients, she'll lose her way of making a living. And that musician over there, see? He's been completely wasted on drink and now he's being forced to apologize. But if you help him, he could lose his job at the tavern. Sometimes, doing things you think are good can make everything worse. Instead of gratitude, the person who was helped will only get angrier with you. Do you want things to end like this? I don't want to, but what should I do then? I have no idea. After all, it wasn't my idea to become a knight, was it? But I don't think even humans know what to do in these situations. That's why there are so few good knights in this world. Everyone treats the oath of knighthood as an empty promise, and I know that kind of talk can make you feel bad, but Gray, you may be the only knight in the world who truly believes in that oath. If one day you fail to earn the respect of others and even your lord begins to question your decisions, knighthood will no longer make you happy. Instead, you'll be confused and miserable. Now, the war between men will begin. What will your choice be, little Lit? Hey, do you hear that noise? I think it's a horse galloping. Hey, it's the Silver Moon Knight. Where is Milady Irene? I have something important to report to her. She's on the banks of the river, right? I'll go there. Oh, what the fuck? That was dangerous. What's with this guy? Maybe it's really urgent. By the way, he's using a horse other than Tito's. Meanwhile, Irene and Abby Robert are on the banks of the river. Milady, Sir Gray, Knight of the Silver Moon, has arrived and has something urgent to report to you. Irene thinks, I don't think he could miss the chance to boost his reputation in this battle. Could he? Bring him here. Gray appears in front of her, but says nothing. So, what do you have to report to me? She asks, but he remains silent. Oh, forget it. Just wait here. I'll let you warm up your muscles after we cross the river. But Gray's gaze changes to a bloodthirsty one, and he draws his sword, moving behind Irene as if to stab her. But what? Irene is surprised. If you want to save Irene, burn all the boats. You won't be able to cross the river with that, and you won't fight in this battle. Damn, I made a miscalculation, the imposter says. Matey, you don't seem to be happy about this at all, do you? It was a bad idea to keep someone in your army whose real face is unknown, especially someone who can easily get close to you. It's very easy to disguise yourself as him. That's enough. We'll burn the ships just as you ask. Let Milady go. Okay, I could kill her here and end the war, but that's not what the Majesty want. Think fast. The imposter hesitates. Oh, Milady, get him. Don't let him get away. Milady, I won't let anything happen to you. It was a superficial cut. It won't kill me. Meanwhile, the real Gray was still in town. Sorry, Tito's, you were kind enough to tell me how to understand living beings, but now I'm even more confused. Mr. Black Cat, what do living beings do when they're confused? Normally they sleep, but a Lit doesn't need to sleep. So how you're going to do it without sleeping is something you have to figure out for yourself. He's right there. Get him, you bastard. You bastard. Don't try to escape. You're the one who stabbed Milady. Hey, it's a misunderstanding. How could I have attacked her? I was in town the whole time. Let's see if it's a misunderstanding in prison. Hey, slow down, guys, slow down. What the fuck is going on? In the next scene, we see Gray under arrest. I think I found out why they arrested you. Someone impersonated you last night to try to assassinate Milady Irene and forced you to burn all the ships. Now you've caused panic in the White City and no one knows if it was really really you. Someone impersonated me to try to murder Irene? Damn it! Who would have the nerve to do that? I have to get out of here as soon as possible to explain this to her. I don't think you need to leave here, Irene says as she appears in the prison. What do you want to explain to me? Say it now. Milady Irene, listen, I'm the real Grey. I'm not that evil imposter. Do you have any way of proving that you're the real Grey? Oh, no. How about, I don't know, a dance? Hey, you fucking asshole. What kind of fucking dance? They want you to take your helmet off. I don't think that would be a good idea. I told you she'd recognize me. She's a good lord, like Horus. She'll recognize you, you son of a bitch. But then the prison doors open. Where is that phony who impersonated me? Milady, I'm going to beat him up, arrest him, and make him apologize to you. There's no need to do that. Lady Shelley has woken from her slumber, so stay at the castle and look after her for the next few days. Also keep an eye on Felder and little Jimmy, who is under house arrest. Stay in the castle? But what about the war? Can I help you? You don't have to do anything. Grey, you'll do yourself a big favor just by staying in the castle. Everyone knows what happened last night. Everyone knew it wasn't you, but no one can be sure that it was you under the armor. Unfortunately, this news has spread among the people. You always wear a helmet. No one has ever seen your real face, so no one can tell you from the imposter. Many people are afraid of you now, so I don't want you to leave the castle. After the war, I'll make it up to you if you make it back alive. But a knight of the silver moon can't let his lord go to war alone. I don't need your knighthood. Your vows won't help me achieve victory. Chivalry is worthless. I just need you to stay in the castle and not run off, understand? I understand, milady. Meanwhile, in the castle, if it isn't our knight of the silver moon, Milady Shelley, I hear the war isn't going very well. The king is already gathering, and Milady Irene can only defend herself. There will be 20,000 people against 100,000. It's certain defeat. And what made Irene trust you as her greatest weapon? She believes I can't bring her victory. I tried to help by following my vows, but she no longer believes in me. I tried to help everyone, but in the end, I just screwed up. I tried to take children to the battlefield, but they can't go there. Irene said that I don't know what war means or what real victory is. If it's not about following the vows, what's the point of being a knight? I don't understand. You really did a lot while I was asleep, didn't you? Although it's a bit of a messy situation, it's a fact that you really helped me and my family. I am grateful to you. In my heart, you are the coolest and greatest knight. This means that everything you've done before, including your chivalry, is not without meaning. Okay, really, what you said is true. I feel much better when you say that. Lady Shelley, could you please answer any other questions for me? Shelley thinks, this guy really doesn't know what distance means. I can't keep answering questions and reflections forever. I'm very bad at philosophy, but if you really have a dilemma in your heart, I think you should visit the church. After all, the priest there is an expert in answering problems of this kind. In the next scene, we see a hook being thrown, but it crashes miserably into the walls and falls. I heard a noise just now. No, we better patrol again. It's a critical moment, isn't it? The walls of the White City are so high. It's impossible to climb them, isn't it? I should have retreated with the others when I was informed of the war. Lord Shepherd. Oh, don't arrest me. I'm not a spy. I just want to get out of town. Mr. Pastor, why do you want to leave town? Lord of the Silver Moon, what are you doing here? What do you want from me, Sir Knight? I'm confused, so I want your advice. Yes, advice. Of course, let's go back to church. And now, on the battlefield, reporting, Milady Irene. The king's men have started to cross the river. They are crossing the river at a beach in Recife, 10 kilometers from our camp. Although many ships have sunk, they have managed to avoid our patrol. They are now trying to bring knights or supplies to attack our coast, so he won't back down, will he? We can't let them disembark. Reporting, Miss Irene. The king's army has also been spotted in the northeast. Felder's and Casper's men have massed. They are gathering around the king's army. Are you kidding me? Isn't Felder under house arrest? I told Gray to keep an eye on him and Jimmy. What the hell are they using to send these troops and do this? We better retreat, Irene. Fall back to the White City for now. At least we still have the city to defend. The White City is isolated. If we go there, we'll be trapped, and the people of the city will suffer. Please, Uncle Gregory, get into position to intercept the Allied forces in the northwest. I'm going to head northeast and prevent Bard 6 from landing. If we can capture the king, we still have a chance of winning. Meanwhile, in the church. So, Sir Knight, tell me, what are you confused about? It's about chivalry, Mr. Shepherd, which I once believed believed in so strongly, but now I don't know if I should continue to believe in it or not. I swore an oath to Milady Irene that I would protect her from everything, but in this time of war, she told me to stay in the castle. According to the oath, I should have gone to help, but I couldn't disobey her orders, and I'm confused now. Isn't a knight's vow supposed to be that literal? And I screwed up by following it to the letter. Well, my boy, I can understand a little. Let me call you that. I think you're trying to be a great knight and make everyone believe that you really are, but that's the problem. Listen, there is nothing in this world that is acceptable to everyone, not even the Holy Spirit. It's normal for you to be confused by this, because you don't really see divine truth. And by truth, I mean your heart, your own heart. Ah, my heart? Yes, my son. It's the heart that counts. We often hear about black and white, but the world is actually gray. It's hard for us to ponder black and white in a gray world, but the answer is really very simple. The answer is that you should just obey your heart. When we talk about something, there may be people who tell you what to do. In the end, it's up to you to make that judgment. You may not always do the right thing, but the right thing will always come along. Just as not everyone can benefit from your help, there will be someone who will always show you their gratitude. And you're right, chivalry isn't a literal thing. That's because words in a book won't unlock your heart. You have to find the key to the cage that is holding your own heart. Instead, you have to understand your own heart. Just imagine how wonderful the world would be if everyone thought like that, wouldn't it? Faith is a light that can illuminate the darkness and help us find our way. So, when you fervently believe in chivalry, obey your heart and follow your perception. At that point, right or wrong, your actions alone will demonstrate the best interpretation of your chivalry. Right or wrong. And the pastor thinks he understood what I said, right? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, but in the end, I'm back in church. Judging by his reaction, I don't think it's that serious. When is this guy going to put an end to it? The archbishop sent me a message saying that the king is going to enter the city tomorrow morning, and I have to get out of here. Very good, Mr. Pastor. Oh, yes, of course. I'm here. Any more questions? What you said was wonderful and I understood everything. But can I ask you just one more question? Of course, my son. What else do you want to know? Suppose a person dies and becomes undead, but can still dance, sing and do whatever they want. What's the difference between the living and the dead? My child, you're asking a more philosophical question than the previous ones, aren't you? But I can answer it. I'd like to ask you a rhetorical question. If someone is wicked and has stolen countless times, are they a good person or a bad person? She's definitely a bad person. But what if he only steals from the cruel rich and distributes all the money to the poor? Is he good or bad? Oh, I don't know. Good? Exactly. The dead and the living are like good guys and bad guys. What matters is identity and heart. No matter the origins or the methods, as long as the intention of goodness is maintained, the living and the undead are no different. Can you understand that? I think I understand a little. Ah, of course. That said, it was my last question, but I saw you trying to jump the wall earlier. Are you trying to escape the city? The pastor thinks, damn, that change of topic was too quick. I was just going to ask why he asked such a strange question. Well, it's nothing wrong, so I'll be honest. I want to get out of town. The archbishop sent me a letter saying that the king is going to launch a full-scale attack tonight. Irene's army won't be able to stop it. I know I can't leave the children here, but I can't tell anyone about it. It's against the agreement between the church and the kingdom. In the end, I too chose to follow my heart. You must understand. What? You said Irene won't survive until tomorrow? Damn it, I need to go to her right now. I have a vow with her. I need to protect her. Wait! Take me with you. Well, are you going to protect her too? No, I just want to get out of the city. The walls are too high to climb. Alright, then stay close to me. Huh, what's that? Suddenly, he sees the flag that the children have made for him. Chief, we heard everything. You're going to protect Miss Irene, aren't you? Take us with you, Knight of the Silver Moon. We beg you, we want to join the battle. Ah, you, come on, boss. It's our time. What are you doing? Children can't play during a battle. Go back to bed. Actually, children, I spoke to the pastor, and he has a point. If I die, I'll never get my life back. I'm not sure I can protect you during the battle. So, what are you still thinking about, boss? We already put our lives on the line when we made the vow with you. We're not children in need of protection, boss, but knights. You said it very well. Now then, follow me, Knights of the Silver Moon. Let's help our Lord win this war. Wait! Lord of the Silver Moon, are you taking the children into battle? They're not children, they're knights. I'll lead them to victory. Together, we must catch the the traitor. I found the traitor. He was in the church. Get that bastard. Why are you calling me a traitor? Is there another misunderstanding now? Understood? Go to hell explaining it then. And the guy already lunges at Gray with a sword, but he simply pushes him away with a slap. You're ridiculous. You always attack first and ask questions later, don't you? Tell me, what happened this time to make you try to kill me again? You dare ask that? It was you who stabbed the prison guards and freed Felder and his son. I am the Knight of the Silver Moon, Gray. Who dares stop me? And Gray simply smashes the guy's sword. That imposter again? Looks like I have a few scores to settle with this guy before I go to Miss Irene, otherwise he's going to become a headache for me. If impersonating me is this much fun, it's about time you got pissed off, isn't it? Report, report. We have pursuers from the White City after us. How many are approaching us? Just one knight, but he's the Knight of the Silver Moon. How come that damn knight is coming after us? We have to finish him off as soon as possible, otherwise he'll never stop chasing us. We have to finish off the knight, right? Understood. Why are they slowing down? Until the imposter rider is facing Gray. So you're the knight leading this group. It was you who impersonated me to try to assassinate Lady Irene and killed the warriors, wasn't it? Tell me your name. The fake knight thinks. What an aura of oppression he has. So this is the real Silver Moon Knight. I heard that you defeated 50 heavily armed knights with your own strength. He throws his helmet on the ground. Such martial feats can indeed be considerable, unparalleled in the world. But what can you do alone against 4 times as many heavily armed elite warriors? I don't have a name. In fact, I abandoned it when I chose this identity. But since you asked about manners, I must also be honest in my answer. I am the captain of the first unit of the King's Shadow Guards, and you can call me Shadow Number 1. The King's Shadow Unit. What are we going to do now? Gray, fight back? __. Shit, you bastard. You've evolved from a no-brainer to a no-brainer with attitude. Now I've seen progress, so get cracking, kid. Spearman in position, orders Gray. Tito's knows this formation very well. It's unpleasant, but it doesn't matter now, replies the fake knight, as Tito's begins to run everyone over. A soldier tries to lasso Gray. Ha, I've got him, says the soldier, but instead of pulling Gray, he's pulled hard. He's advancing like a hurricane. Ye brat, let's go, boys, exclaimed Tito's, advancing towards the imposter. Are you relying on your horse to attack? I'll cut your head off, says the imposter, but Gray simply punches him in the stomach, knocking him off his horse. That punch was terrifying. Even with my full armor, my internal organs seem to have been torn apart. So that's the true power of the Silver Moon Knight. I've failed in my mission. Kill me now. I don't kill people. I just want you to apologize to Irene and the warriors of the White City, Gray replies. Are you kidding? This is a war. What's the point of apologizing? I don't care what you say, and I'm not going to apologize. Meanwhile, Lord John kicks open the carriage door. I've had enough of this band of losers. I've reached the limit of my patience. You're all going to die. Oh, wait, no. You promised immortality, master, exclaims a soldier, but Lord John starts killing all the soldiers around him, including the one who was imitating Gray. Where did that black smoke come from? That's black magic that directly steals life from its targets. Black magic. That brat's playing with some heavy stuff. Huh? You don't seem surprised. After all, you're immune to my magic eye, aren't you? From the beginning until now, you've all thought it was that foolish king who wanted to annex the Duchy of Becher. Unfortunately, the one who really wants the duchy is me, the great descendant of Dracula, the noble blood. You're the strongest human I've ever met, but so what? Even the most powerful humans are just scum. I'll send you to hell along with that pathetic lady. Now tell me, little knight, do you still want to be my father? Lord John unleashes a blast of energy in Gray's direction. Gray, hide quickly! A huge explosion occurs when the blast comes into contact with him. How do you like that? That's what you deserve. I told you not to mess with me. You'll be turned to ashes. It's a real shame that I killed everyone. No one will know what happened today. No one will witness your comical death. Gray, are you okay? Asks Tito's worriedly, seeing that Gray's helmet is all cracked and his armor is simply falling apart. From inside, you can see little Gray's hood. So now I can ask you something, says Gray, as all the soldiers around him start to stand up. What's that bit about nobody knowing what happened today? day. Were you serious? Gray simply revived all the soldiers. You've got to be kidding me. What is this? Why is there a lich here? Exclaims Lord John. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, with the sun rising, Milady Irene struggles to stay on her feet. Milady, are you alright? Asks Horace. I'm trying to hold on, Horace. How many are still standing? The cavalry has been completely decimated, and of the infantry, only 2,000 remain in the last camp. If we retreat any further, we'll have to go back to the White City. So the only option is, Irene, Uncle Gregory, where is your knight called Gray? Why hasn't he shown up so far? Gray? I told him to stay in the castle. Huh? Stay in the castle? Do you know the strategic value of that knight? Even if someone impersonated him to assassinate you, whatever the strategic value, it doesn't matter. An army of 100,000 of the king's people is advancing on our lines. The final battle will be fought when the sun rises fully, 2,000 against 100,000. Uncle Gregory, we've already lost. Irene, but you, if you've already given up, I don't need to be a good companion. I can't bring the Gregory family to ruin with you. When the king's army massacres the city, I'll surrender to them. Well, if you're going to do it when the time comes, you're going through some pretty tough times, aren't you, Uncle Gregory? Meanwhile, in the city, people are very desperate because the Betcher family is losing the war, and everyone is thinking of fleeing the city. Let me leave the city now. I want to find my grandfather. Miss Shelley, it's a battlefield out there. It's very dangerous. If we open the gate now, it could cause an uprising. Where's Gray? Irene told him to stay in the city to protect me. You don't have to stop me. So, I'm sorry, Miss Shelley, but the Silver Moon Knight has already left the city before dawn. He left the White City with a group of children, and we didn't stop him. So far, we haven't received any news of him going to the front line, so it's very likely that he's fled. What a joke! You'd think that knight would run away from battle. And my friends, Gray was already carrying the wounded Jones. Your Majesty, it should be quite clear by now that I didn't agree with you changing the succession of House Betcher. Look at these lifeless heroes. Is all this disgrace really worthy enough for this succession? But the outcome will depend precisely on your testimony, Archbishop. I will, with absolute certainty, bring about the victory of this war in a just and prevailing manner. Then I will ask you to pass on your sacred, just and prevailing order. Let's hope that's the case. And from among the bodies, it was Irene who was there. At least they're here, and we're back to the beginning of the work. Year 11,266 of the 4th era of the Elven calendar, in the year 10,753 of the human holy calendar. At the southern tip of the continent of the Celts, in the kingdom of Isaac, an unjust war is taking place. Irene Betcher, you have no chance of winning this war. Take a good look at your followers. Do you want to drag them to death and hell with you? And we see Irene fallen, all wounded. In the name of the kingdom of Isaac, if you renounce your right to inherit the throne of House Betcher, I will forgive you. The darkness of breaking the oath, the corruption of faith, the greed of the heart have become an eternal shadow over the whole world. Do you really think your word is worth anything, Your Majesty? Of course my word is trustworthy. Doesn't Your Majesty think it's funny when you say that? What about the vow with the Betcher family that the imperial family took when they first swore allegiance to you? The crown can't guarantee me the rights of the Betcher family. And look at you, look what you've done to the empire. You're not the heir to House Betcher, your brother is. Do I really have a brother? Considering your reputation and your bad decisions, you have no choice. I'm not going to break my oath in front of tens of thousands of people. Men, put down your weapons and do as I say now. The soldiers still wanted to fight. That's right, milady. Even if we're doomed to failure, please let us accompany you to the end. You're so negligent, but that won't be necessary. I, Irene Betcher, resign. You, my soldiers. But, miss, she just puts her hand on Horace's head and gives him a little farewell smile. Horace, Abby, Robert, and Uncle Gregory, this is my last order. Drop your weapons and get away from here, please. Obviously, none of them wanted to follow this order, but they dropped their swords anyway. And she thinks, I've just discharged all your obligations to the Betcher family. There's one more I need to talk about, but it doesn't matter. It's actually a good thing that idiot isn't here. With all that skill, it'll be easy to find a new lord, won't it? And she gives one last smile and stands up, wielding her sword. I will fight until my last breath. And she sets off to take on the king's great army alone. Silly girl, but if that's the way you want it, so be it. Soldiers, get ready. Humility. Who said that? Integrity. compassion, valor, justice, and sacrifice. Gray, is that you? But even in the shadows of humanity's corruption, there are still those who defy the law to keep their votes, for glory and for their own conviction. It's the Gray Knight, but he's only one. Let's finish him off. I, Gray, have sworn allegiance to Irene Betcher and House Betcher. Onward! All who stand against them are my enemies. All who harm her are my enemies. I will fight for their honor to the death. Onward, Knights of the Silver Moon. And we see a very epic scene of our protagonist. Catherine, are you happy about this? Don't you think it's funny, Professor Rot, when all the humans have renounced their vows? A small light has remained on, and this knight has finally reached his climax. What will be the end of this little hope? And that's all for today, folk. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying narrating this work. It has a lot of chapters, and we here at the channel want to start following along. So please leave lots of likes and comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you next time, and talk.